Should be starting now.
Refresh. My page is not there.
All right, should be good.
Yeah, oh, yeah, there it is. Live. Yeah, I hear myself now. Hold on. Copy video URL, edit, customization, redirect. Can't learn that channel. Redirect for privileges needed. Ask you to live. You got to go into your community settings. You know how to do that?
Hold on 1 second. On the studio.
Yep. You go studio.
Okay.
And then I believe it's
Community.
possibly.
No, probably settings.
Probably settings, yeah, little cogwheel. Yeah, settings. And then community moderation. And then you gotta check the little all channels can redirect to my content.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Done.
For some reason they think people would want that enabled or not enabled by default or whatever.
Right.
Which is stupid.
So dumb. Yeah, what up, Roy? What up, Godfather? All right, let's check this shit out.
It's still waiting. It may take me a second. You got to save the changes and all that.
Yo, what's up, Roy? Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
I take it that
Hold on, let me make sure I saved it. It should have.
military pressure to push Iran to the negotiating table to give up any
Let me just take a second. I think it was what happened with Baghdadi.
pressure.
Is he had to enable it, and it took him a second for it to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I did change it though. All channels can redirect. Now try it.
No dice yet.
Appreciate you. It's fucking stupid.
Make sure it's saved.
As we speak, General, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Krista. Good to be with you.
Thank you for joining us. I'm going to ask you first, what is your take on what has transpired, this shocking breaking news that has transpired this evening?
Well, it's not that shocking, I don't think, because of Iran's intransigence. President Trump decided to give them one more chance, and of course, you had the Iranian foreign minister meet with European foreign ministers yesterday, and the response was kind of bellicose. And just said, hey, we're not even going to talk until the attacks from Israel stop. So I think that's really may have been the last straw for President Trump.
Is Trump speaking yet?
I think he already did. I think Wendy said 10 should count for the time zone.
Donald Trump says told us about nuclear weapons. I know about that.
Amongst the National Security Council, that has been a discussion that has gone on for quite some time.
What up, Tyler? I don't know.
Which is, they have to look at the next, what is the next step? What is going forward? What happens after?
I missed the bunker busters.
There is that famous day after discussion that takes place. And one of the discussions will be, if we do this, if we take this off, and you get everybody that's there.
Oh, he's going to
all
address the nation at 10
on Iran, they're there.
Oh, he is. Okay,
as well.
so you're
And you say, if
commentary
this happens,
on that.
what happens to the Iranian regime? And then you get everybody who's experts on all the Iranian proxies and their network and everything else, and that's something that gets, now you're not just talking
stupid. I don't know why they're like, well, we don't want you to be able to raid people if they don't want you to.
You got to remember, we've been looking at.
Well, they don't fucking want you to, then they can block it. But I mean, like, by default,
right, that should be like a standard thing, like on Facebook, you could just raid.
Yeah, but do you know how many small streamers don't even know that exists?
I didn't know
they would
do that.
love to get a raid.
What happens to
you know who Da Vinci Frost is?
No.
He was like
a subject matter experts,
Warzone
maybe
streamer for a while. He was actually pretty big on
proxy stakeholders, if you will. I don't know how
he
you
used
want
to
to put
try
that.
and raid me every
That
now
would
and
say,
then.
well,
I didn't know
if
how
I
to set
was,
it up.
in Hezbollah, this is what I would now be looking at. If I was Hamas, this is what I'd now be looking at. If I was the Houthis, I'd be looking at.
They're saying
And
impeach
when you build a
Trump,
consensus
fuck
and an
Iran,
understanding that comes out of this process, that will
Didn't
go
get chat on
forward,
Fox
but part of
News.
that would be that something like this could lead to the end.
Why are there no
of
Walmarts
what
in Iran?
some
Because there are
might
so many
call
targets.
the influence
let me
of
do it
the
on
Shiite
my
crescent.
streaming
And
PC.
just for those who don't know, there are two
That's crazy,
dominant
Rory.
faith
Holy
groups,
shit,
if
they
you will,
dropped
within Islam.
6
One
bunker
is Sunni,
busters on the main. Oh
and
my
that's Saudi
God.
Arabia is
Well, I
kind of
just
lead
hope
for
this doesn't
that.
get us sucked
All
into
right,
World
the
War
other
III.
We'll
Shiite.
see it. I'm headed
And
over there.
Iran
I'll be in
is lead
chat,
for
man.
that.
Appreciate
Now,
the
of the
game.
two,
Yeah, appreciate
Appreciate
you,
all love,
Sunnis far
everybody. We'll
outnumber the
see you
Shiites,
tomorrow.
but in Iran,
Wendy and
the
Grumpy
Shiites
1v1.
way outnumber the
I
Sunnis.
don't know what the stakes are. Wendy will probably put
Iraq,
up like
the
feed pics
Sunnis
or
are actually
Yeah,
the
Wendy.
majority of the
head
population.
mobship.
The
Grumpy
Shiites are the majority
also
population.
will put up feed
The
pics,
Assad
or
family
we'll have
was
him
from
agree to
the
something
Alawites,
absolutely
which were
egregious, like
Shiite.
no sugar
And
products
then
for a
in
month or something
Lebanon,
stupid like that.
Hezbollah
Anyways,
really
it'll be fun.
captures
It'll be
brother.
painful for the loser.
the
And you
representation
guys
of the
will enjoy it. I'll
Shiites
catch you on the
within
next
there.
one.
But
See you over there, guys.
the society is
Holla.
broken down between Sunni Shiites and then Christians for the most part.
Dude,
In Lebanon.
that's wild.
And then you see various pockets of Shiite stuff, such as you see with the Houthis as well. And so Lebanon, I mean, Iran being taken out of the equation completely changes the math across the region, because there is no longer this big state sponsor of these Shiite groups and the militias, the Shiite militias.
This is crazy.
That are they're basically fomenting terrorism and paramilitary threats within Iraq. We'll have to take that into account.
What up, Joe?
Any resistance to the current government in Syria that's based on Shiite and Alawite
How you feeling today, bro?
We'll definitely have to take this into account. Hezbollah may finally decide shortly thereafter that they're going to lay down their arms.
Good.
I'm not saying I foresee that, but I see it as a very likely outcome that what the Lebanese government has been doing in those discussions could really bear fruit very quickly here. And then the Houthis are going to have to do a little bit of self-examination, which is, who are we and what can we do going forward, and how do we survive without an Iranian state sponsor?
What's up, everybody?
So what you could end up seeing is a complete reset, strategically speaking, of what we've known for decades.
I am not a person
or many years,
that is
but
for
certainly
war
decades
at all.
Across the Middle East. This would be a big
God
change.
damn,
By the way, I should mention something
is this
else
Cletus
too.
speaking right now?
China and Russia. They're the other two big players in this.
Hold on, I'm just trying
China
to
gets a phenomenal amount of oil from
post
Iran.
my shit up.
China has got a huge investment.
What's up, everybody?
In
How we
Iran.
doing?
Some could arguably say that some of the things that China has done by Iran is really part of its larger Belt and Road initiative around the world.
My dude said Trump
so
should
this is all
send some
changed.
Tesla robots and
Iran
C4
and China's
strapped
going
to
to be kind of looking. It's going to change the way.
Dude, this is fucking
China
wild, you guys.
Views the world, because all of a sudden, if
Yo,
there's
I appreciate
for
you guys
example,
all
a new
stopping
regime
over
comes
watching
in and it's a pro-Western
Agenda Free
regime
too. Yeah,
that eventually dominates.
Bro,
and I'm not
this is
saying it's going to
crazy.
be democracy or anything like that. I'm not going to, we love to say, oh, they'll come in, it'll be democracy, and they'll be wonderful, and they're going to copy the.
Here's my thing: is Matt Gaetz talking about this at all right now? I wonder if he's live. I know he's with ONN right now. ONN. Oh, yeah.
To all of the great viewers.
One American News Network.
Okay, so join. Okay, so this is going to be.
Squadron, completely secret and completely stealth.
Grumpy!
They were flying suborbital.
Dude.
So effectively, no one could.
He's working for OAN now. He's not doing He's not like in the government itself anymore.
See them. No one could track them. And they sent decoy operations around the planet. It's a wild, wild story. We're going to unpack.
So, chat, I want to know, how do you guys feel about all this? Yeah, everybody, please make sure to hit that like. How do you guys all feel? Well, did you send me a good video or something? I know Trump's speaking at 10. Oh, I seen that. Wait, are you talking about? Oh, wait, no, that's Ed. Oh, shit. Wonder why that is.
Unpack all of it. Warriors are now outside of Iranian airspace on Truth Social. This, ladies and gentlemen,
shouldn't be,
is what an American bunker buster looks like. I mean, holy smokes.
There we go.
We're going to be absorbing the news live here on the stream. So much, I mean, all of this is happening. Now look at that.
What's up, Ken?
I mean,
how you doing, bro?
Holy moly.
So,
Consumerism, Charlie.
I like the list
Trump's
from Charlie
lost
Kirk.
80% of his base. This is a betrayal. You know, see, this is always how it's going to go. I completely disagree
please make
with
sure to hit that like.
sentiment. I think there's a lot of people that are very online. I think
I don't agree with that either. I don't think he's going to lose his base.
And I would also say X has become kind of a bot-riddled place right now. Musk is aware of it, and there's a lot of reports that are suggesting that the bots are trying to sow division in MAGA. I want to give you credit, Charlie. You have been steadfast, even at times when I would waver or when Blake would throw out contrarian positions. You have been steadfast, and you have succeeded in frustrating both sides, remaining true to your beliefs that we should not rush into this with some sort of zeal or a fevered, desire for war.
I did. I turned it down.
Some of our friends haven't. Yeah, some of our friends haven't understood it. A lot of our enemies have doubted your position, and I just want to say it's been consistent and sincere.
Hello.
And you've had the president's back in spite of that. And I want to give you a hat tip because you don't get enough credit for that, Charlie.
Well, it's
really,
been
truly.
Thank you. It means a lot, and it's been a unusual week because
very
I've had
unusual.
Friends in different camps annoyed, and it seems that everyone that isn't like either no intervention or like hyper intervention actually has been very appreciative. And by the way, the show is doing better than ever as a result. People seem that are very, I think, fair and nuanced, and measuring in the complexities has been very very well received. So it's very kind, Andrew. Thank you. And by the way, so tonight my take is very simple. We trust the commander-in-chief's judgment. We don't know all the intelligence that was in front of him. Now, by the way, there has to also be an understanding that for those of you that are like overly celebratory, I just want to try to humble you. You don't know how tonight is going to end. You might say tonight is an awesome night. It is in some ways so far, but we don't know how tonight's. Can we get some of the B-roll here? Basically, I mean, Fordo looks like Mordor. I mean, it's just. Can we get some of that B-roll up on screen?
Listen, to be fair, war is nothing to celebrate. If you have to go to war, there's no celebration. For real, there's no real celebration.
Admin right now, trying to get a pulse. I'm, texting with all the main, all the main decision makers and stakeholders. We're gonna get Jack Posobiec on here in a second. And so, the situation that's where we're seeing right now. We just want to make sure all that is real B-roll, by the way.
So is this right here? This is it?
So it says it looks very odd or I don't know
what
we have
that
sound.
is. No,
it looks strange. So
it looks, I don't know. So what happens next? Here's the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that on July 4th, everyone forgets about this. It kind of just goes into our memory.
Yeah.
There is no real stickiness. There's really no permanency to all of this. And, we get to say, okay, we move on. Iran has been completely derailed. A kind of worst case scenario is that this escalates and that it forces our hand in a situation that we might not like. But
the bunker busters are no joke. Hell no, they're no joke. It'd be a drop by stealth bombers.
If Iran decides to get engaged and gets involved, boy, that will not be a good decision for them. Can we get Netanyahu's speech here? Netanyahu has said, quote, "Congratulations, President Trump."
No, dude.
Also, though, in the audience.
This isn't a congratulatory thing. That's what I don't understand. It's not something to congratulate anybody on. War is nothing to congratulate on. When people are dying, there's nothing to congratulate. It should be, hey, stay safe. That's all you should say.
Freedom@charliekirk.com. So let's first go here. This is actually a very important map. This is in, they say Farsi. That's the speech, the dialect.
Congratulations. I can't stand him, bro.
This is,
I don't hate him. I just can't stand Netanyahu. He's such a phony.
retaliation. So these are a lot of sitting ducks, but understand they're sitting ducks, but as soon as they know that there's going to be a launch, airplanes will get up in the air. Back when they did...
I will say one thing. I'm not encouraging war. No. I will say one thing, though, Godfather. He did some gangster ass shit with the pagers. That pager thing, I don't care if it was right or wrong. That was some gangster shit right there. Like, dude, that was some G shit.
The planes. And so there were some close calls, actually. So they were circling. 15 planes were circling. They hit the runways because they were going after all these guys.
For real.
Missiles world. And so they had to go find runways.
Dude, that pager thing was fucking crazy. That was wild.
An untold, amazing story of the response to the Soleimani. So here's Iranian state TV. Mr. Trump, you started it, and we will end it. Look how many military bases there are within ballistic missile range. Play cut 252.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just B-roll. Okay. So the U.S. has committed a crime against Iran by violating Iran's airspace, and has no place in the West Asian region. The President of the United States, you started it, and we will finish it. Okay, great. Okay, great. These guys are a lot of talk, by the way. They've been nothing but...
Here's my thing. I don't really want to agree with Charlie on for that. Gotta have a lot of... Yes, definitely. You have to have... Bro, that is wild that they pulled that one off. The thing I don't agree with about Charlie about that is... Hold up.
I think we would all be very happy. Current regime. Yeah. Don't know if this is true.
Great. Until...
You should never underestimate
these guys
them.
are a lot of talk,
Listen,
by the way.
So look at what they're saying, right?
Soleimani. So here's Iranian state TV. Mr. Trump, you started it, and we will end it. Look how many military bases there are within ballistic missile range. Play cut.
Regardless of anybody's past, regardless of what you think of them saying something like this, you definitely have to take account of it, and you should never underestimate anybody, especially your enemies at the time. You should never underestimate them. Don't ever underestimate your enemies.
All those places.
So I'd say the email's about 50-50 right now, support and oppose. Now, if you email me, freedom@charliekirk.com, I want to hear from you. Please include your age. Please include your age. I'm curious if the age has any determining factor of whether you support or oppose this. And you might say, Charlie, do you support or oppose this? I support President Trump.
That's what I'm saying. I don't support or not support it. I don't want it to happen. I don't. How many Iranians came across our borders and are scared to think they could be in the U.S. right now? That's definitely a thing to think about. You know, it's crazy, guys, because like we're damn near in the middle of a civil war and a fucking world war, dude. It's wild, bro. Like this could be like the end times, like they talk about. Okay, brother. You know, oh wait, let's hear what this fucking douchebag has to say.
Nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion,
who knows, bro?
Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do.
I'll tell you what, if I was fucking Trump, I don't give a fuck. I'd tell this motherfucker, like, listen, dude, after this one, don't fucking ask me for shit. You owe us now. Now you owe us, motherfucker. Quit asking us. You owe us now.
That can help lead the
Because this
Middle
is
East
bullshit
and
that we
beyond
got dragged into
to a
this shit.
future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and
You
I
don't
often
want
say,
peace. You're a fucking
peace
idiot,
gives
bro.
strength.
This dude's a
First comes
douchebag.
strength,
I don't care.
then comes
I don't
peace.
give a fuck. This dude is an
And
idiot,
tonight,
bro.
President Trump and the United States acted with
We're just going to
arms.
put the picture up I made
President
of
Trump,
him while
I
he
thank
talks.
you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
So Interesting wardrobe choice, the red tie.
If you search Bibi's speech,
that's
almost
Kamala
always wears a blue
Harris.
tie that matches the Israeli
This is
flag.
Kamala Harris.
He did wear a red tie when he met with President Trump in the cabinet
This is
room
Benjamin
at one time,
Netanyahu.
so maybe I'm reading too much into it. And so, by the way, we are about 180 seconds out from the scheduled start of President Trump's speech that he will be giving here. By the way, let me just say, I'm going to be listening to every word, every syllable, and you're going to want to tune in here right when President Trump is done, because we can decode and kind of give you a little bit of an interpretation of what's going on. Yet? I think better than anybody else.
Oh, we got 3 minutes.
I mean, look, I've known
I
the man
can't
for
stand
10 years,
Gavin.
and I've spent
Oh,
a lot
hold
of time
on.
with him. I just
So
saw him this last
you guys
week.
want my buddy on my other channel, on
this
my
is gonna be one
podcast
of
channel?
the most
Let me go
important,
to it.
One of the most high
My
stakes,
buddy made a song.
One of the most pressure.
We got a couple minutes before Trump comes on. We'll listen to it.
This song's for you, Gavin Newsom.
There you go.
Walk through LA without homeless at your feet. I can't believe he let it all get this far. And that trendy ride was stealing my car. 'Cause Gavin Newsom is a punk ass bitch. Hopes and dreams in a 101 ditch. Can't get it together no matter how hard he's tried. Presidential hoax to 28 just died. Smiles for the cameras with his shiny hair.
Yeah, dude. That was crazy. Is that where you're at, Rory, in Cali?
On Hollywood's Walk of Fame. And he's on TV talking shit with no shame. Gavin Newsom is a punk-ass little bitch. Hopes and dreams in a 101 ditch. Can't get it together no matter how hard he's tried. Presidential hopes in 28 just died. Gavin Newsom, you punk-ass little bitch. Your hopes and dreams are lost in a ditch. I can't believe you let it all get this far. That trendy ride for Mr. 13 in my car.
This shit's so funny, dude.
Really want to hear what damage did this do? Did this completely take out Fordo? Does it need to be hit again? What's really the situation on the ground? And of course, whether or not Iran responds is going to be the big question. NBC saying that President Trump is expected to address that very question because there's a lot of troops that we have within the region that are certainly going to be on edge tonight. A lot of bases that are going to be on edge tonight, and for folks that are sitting out there, I think.
You're from Sacramento. I gotcha.
Women are in uniform right now. They know that they have a commander-in-chief who absolutely has their back. They have a Secretary of Defense in Pete Hegseth who always puts the war fighter first, and that's exactly who they are going to be listening to when they tune into the president's words in just a few moments.
So by the way, any moment here we might throw to President Trump at 7:01. I know the White House very well. I said he's going to be late. My guess is I don't want to play in the odds. I don't know. Tonight's a big night, but I don't think he's going to be sharp at 7. I think at least 10 to 15
He won't
minutes.
wait too long. He wants those ratings too. And at 11:30, people start going.
I know, but this is big. This is big. They got to make sure every word is correct. And so By the way, the emails we're getting, freedom@charliekirk.com, the younger you are...
Oh, they're actually not streaming it. That's wild.
You are of this operation,
I thought for sure my city would
be
be streaming it.
And so that is
Well,
playing
we
out
have
freedom@charliekirk.com.
Look, I know, dude. We got the Moab, bro. We got the fucking Moab. Like, legit.
We're going to be covering this in great detail with unbelievable specificity.
Fuck them.
Subscribe. We'll be doing a giveaway in a little bit, by the way.
I just wish we wouldn't have got drug into this, dude. It sucks.
We've been talking about the age and generational difference.
I think he's going to be coming out soon. Yep. Here he comes, the man.
Hopefully we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember,
dude, that's wild.
Many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's it, huh? Damn. Yo, to me, that makes it seem like we got to get to the drawing table now. We got to get it going. Although I don't agree with war, I'm hoping Trump's right about this, and I'm hoping that they do have weapons, and they were really planning to do all this, and it's not just another George Bush situation, because that could kind of ruin his presidency, and I really don't want to see that happen. Dude, seriously, America plus Israel equals... That's true. It's just, I don't trust some of these fuckers, dude. I just don't trust some of them. Wow. I seen a TikTok earlier. Let me see if I could find it. Where kids were showing... Hold on, let me see. I didn't want to go to the studio. I just want to go to regular TikTok.
Enzo, guess what? I figured out.
There we go. Military kids eating steak. It should pop up. It was just some kid. He showed that, like, they were giving them steak and is responsible for so much funding to terrorism. Much of that is good. I agree. I just don't want to. I don't want to see this escalate to something else. But I seen this thing. Maybe this was it. Here, this is it.
Steak and lobster. You know what that means? We are going to war. To war we are going. I'm gonna eat good now.
That was it. That was the one I seen earlier. Like, damn. They know. It's crazy. Let's see.
ABC News live coverage at this hour. The president just addressing the nation.
Let's see what these cocksuckers had to
striking
say.
3 Iranian nuclear
TikTok is brain rot. That was from RBB. Oh, really?
sites. The
Oh, that's
president calling
funny,
it a
dude.
tremendous success.
Why do they make shit that's like a lie all the time?
Speaking briefly with our John Carl earlier this evening before addressing the nation about this. And Mary, you've covered President Trump for some time. You covered him as a candidate, his promises not to engage in the Middle East and in any more foreign wars. At the same time, he has long promised that Iran would not get a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, and David, you know, just...
I don't even want to listen to these fucking morons. Let's see what CNN. Yeah. Do you think they're for or against the war now? Here's my thing. Yeah, that's true. Do you think that Trump, or do you think CNN is for the war or against the war? Are they live right now? They're not even live.
I want to put the statement by President Trump up on the screen. He says in a Truth Social post, "We have completed our."
It is brain rot. This is full fucking brain rot.
Including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I'm here with CNN's Jeremy Diamond in Tel Aviv. Obviously, Jeremy, this is something that we have been
dude, it's so funny. Yo, what's up, Cranston? Market dump tomorrow. Crypto already dumped. Really? I didn't even check my crypto.
There has been some reporting they're heading toward Guam. We don't know exactly what aircraft were used in this. They said a full payload of bombs, which there had been a lot of discussion about how many of these bunker buster bombs would
Crypto
be
didn't dump too
really
bad. It went down a little bit. It didn't go down too bad though.
One would be enough.
XRP dropped a little.
It sounds like there were multiple strikes.
Yeah,
looks like it's a time to buy.
He is talking about multiple nuclear sites.
Yeah. Oh, same thing with all the other ones. Will
the Fordo facility, because
they all just want to make Trump look bad.
That is buried deep beneath a mountain in Iran. That would require those B-2 bombers and would require those 30,000 pound bombs to be dropped over that facility. And most experts have estimated that it would take multiple bombing runs to actually get to the depth required to destroy that facility in.
Good news is, if this doesn't escalate, the Democrats won't be able to hop on the anti-war bandwagon during the election. That's 1,000%.
Were they able to destroy it completely? You know, we don't know that yet. We don't.
It's time to buy. Yeah, that's what I said.
Which I would point out the Natanz facility, according to the IAEA and others, that was damaged by Israeli authorities. That was damaged early on in Israel's actions against Iran. The exact level of damage.
I wonder how much plane stocks are going to go up and down now.
Was the electrical supply to the centrifuges at the Natanz facility?
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't fly for the next few months if I was anybody.
I spoke to the head of the IAEA who said he believed that would have caused some of the centrifuges in that Natanz facility to spin out of control and probably go offline and be damaged. But again, it seemed like Fordo had not really been directly hit as far as we know.
That's right. The Israelis had primarily focused their attention on the Natanz facility. We know that they had done extensive damage to the above-ground facilities, some damage to the below-ground facilities, and then as well some damage to Isfahan as well, although they left a lot of that untouched. Some of that, according to experts who I've spoken to, may stem from the risk of radiation.
Damn.
Stem from, if you hit that facility very hard.
When Izzy kicked it off, oil and gold shot up 13 and 4. Oh, really? Damn, oil shot up 13. Oil and gold shot up 13 and 8%. That's wild. It's crazy it's for war, but the people that watch them support Iran. They're fucking weirdos, dude. Democrats and liberals are literally fucking ass backwards when it comes to anything just to be against Trump. That's literally the only reason. They do it just to be against Trump. That's all. It doesn't make any sense, dude. It's like literal TDS.
Been used in combat, and certainly not in a situation like this.
That's right. I mean, the United States has used a lesser bomb known as the mother of all bombs, which is in Afghanistan. That bomb is actually not the mother of all bombs if you consider the GBU-57, because it is smaller than this 30,000-pound bunker-busting bomb, which would, every expert has said, would be the bomb that you would use for the Fordo facility.
Yeah.
At this stage, we don't know that they have actually...
Oh, yeah, because they have fucking brain rot.
But presumably that would indeed be the weapon of choice for this facility.
The thing about those bombs is that they can penetrate deep through concrete, deep through fortifications.
Hopefully.
The question is, would you need to hit with multiple of those bombs in the exact same spot to really get to the depths that we're talking about? I mean, there's estimates of how deep the Fordo facility goes, and I've seen a variety of them, but it's extensive. I mean,
my buddy.
Without a doubt, and you not only have the mountainous structure, you know, the natural fortification that is provided in this facility, but there's also been some analysis that there is likely some reinforced concrete as well. So you have the mountain itself, but then you may also have reinforced fortifications for this facility itself, and that's why most experts have said it would likely take multiple runs of these GBU-57s, 30,000-pound bunker
Yo.
to be dropped over this facility.
Is it time to buy right now?
That we are also talking about U.S. strikes, according to the president, on the
after he bombed Iran.
As well, and that, you know, all the attention has been focused on this Fordo facility, which is where the United States was needed in order to destroy that facility. But the fact that President Trump...
Yeah, oh really? They're just saying that's what happened?
...nuclear facilities as well indicates that he really wanted to make sure that this job was done.
Yeah, all my crypto went down.
The United States, by President
Okay, the bunker buster is only deployed in Paris. Oh really?
entire Iranian nuclear
Dude,
program, and that just cannot be
chat,
understated.
this shit's crazy as fuck, bro.
understanding is that there were large reservoirs of nuclear fuel.
I'm just gonna say this. I hope Trump's right about this. You know what I mean?
A week ago, that
We'll see.
had not been struck, and there had been some thought that perhaps that was
We'll see.
intentional
We'll see. I just hope he's right about this.
Iranians, kind of a window to have a diplomatic effort.
I mean, we haven't even talked yet about the enormous head fake here from President Trump. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, in just the last
Shit's
few days,
crazy.
President Trump talked about giving the Iranians 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks for diplomacy to run its
You always
course.
said within
2 weeks.
but
Within 2 weeks.
the
Without a
headline
doubt.
was 2 weeks.
But that was the headline, and the impression that he was giving was that there was time.
SPX, NASDAQ, US 30 don't like war. Silver, oil, and gold do like war. So my dude said that SPX, NASDAQ, and US 30.
Was he indeed trying to give the Iranians that impression in order to be able to carry out these strikes without the Iranians knowing that it was coming?
Some of the guests that we have had on
Yeah.
over the last several days have raised the possibility that this was kind of a head fake. There was also that diplomatic effort.
Yeah, XRP went down like fucking 20 cents.
One could make the argument perhaps he wanted to see if anything would actually come out of that. It certainly didn't seem like that ended with any...
I'm about to buy some more XRP.
...movement
Fuck that.
toward a sign that Iran was really serious about negotiations. I want to go to CNN.
Ukraine and Russia already happening. That's already baked in. Yeah, that's true, Will. That's very true. Okay, let's say conflict. All right, yeah. We'll say conflict.
Who have you seen
We'll say conflict.
White House this evening in the last
We'll see, dude. We'll see what happens.
Obviously, an incredibly significant move here by the White House, really just saying that they have moved forward in
Yeah, tomorrow.
Iranian nuclear facilities, really trying to aid the Israelis in their goal of wiping out Iran's entire nuclear
Wait to see how it is.
That he thanked American warriors and said there's not another military in the world.
I was gonna say, I bet you right now it might be the time to invest into like United Airlines and shit like that. I bet you they're gonna go down.
To give you some context, the president did land back at the White House. He was at his club in New Jersey about a little bit over around 2 hours ago.
Really? See, it might go down. You might be able to snatch some more up for cheaper.
We spotted some of them coming in, including CIA Director John Ratcliffe, someone who's been
Yeah, it might even go down lower. Honestly, people might be scared as fuck to fly for a couple months.
giving him, laying out different options he could take here. We also spotted moments ago Secretary of State Marco Rubio just outside the West Wing on the phone. Look, the president, the Marine, is still out there continuing to huddle with his national security officials as he released this statement. But I think we can understate how how big of a move this is, especially as we know that the president, I had been told repeatedly in my conversations this week with White House officials, really struggling with this decision.
I'm thinking about buying some XRP. Iran has zero capacity threats to defeat America. Zero. They want no. They don't want none of the smoke. Iran can't fuck with us regardless.
Tonight he has moved forward and showed that he has made his decision, and they have already.
I didn't even. Yeah, I didn't. Hold on. I didn't even look at Bitcoin.
From the White House.
Oh yeah, dude. Bitcoin ain't down shit. Hold on.
Who is joining us? General Kimmett, I'm wondering what you make of this announcement by the president and the decision
Yeah.
to act now.
Yeah, dude. Bitcoin only went down fucking $2,000 out of 104.
I never really could
That ain't shit,
understand
really.
what the 2-week
That ain't.
pause,
Yeah, that ain't shit.
what it was for. What was left
Yeah.
to negotiate? What
Yeah.
was
All right,
really
brother.
going to
I'm gonna stream. I'm streaming right now. I'm streaming all this shit.
in many ways, it was much like
All right, brother.
the
I'll
Trump
talk to you.
deal. I mean, he's trying to make a deal to buy an apartment, but all of a sudden the apartment was
Bro, this is wild. That's my dude. He does. He's like really into like
So I think
investing and shit. And
and trickery in this case.
he's the person I try to ask about stuff like this. I'm not even paying. I can't stand listening to this guy. What the fuck's his name? Is it Brett Cooper or something like that? What's this douchebag's name with the glasses?
The potential loss of American lives.
That's the only thing I don't want to see. I don't want to see American lives lost. That'll suck. That'll be terrible. Yeah, it's Cooper something, dude.
When you were pursuing a diplomatic.
I seen this. That was the other day.
Iran. So he's kind of left this wide open, but it's rather interesting. You know, I really think, look, how did we get here? He opened up that 60
I don't want to subscribe.
Look, I'm going to have 60 days to negotiate.
USA and 5 Anderson Cooper. That's what it is.
Basically did what Iran always does these negotiations, which is they
Yeah, but don't underestimate them, Will. You never underestimate anybody. That's one thing I learned in life.
rhetoric and stuff like we're not going to do anything.
I don't care who it is.
You know, to the point is, I think at one point they were almost asking for Israel to surrender. It was like, is the language almost that strong? It wasn't quite that way, but I'm like, really? That's how you're going to negotiate this thing? And I was listening to this, and I was like, we're really not making a lot of progress.
I'm trading my right now. ETH dropped to 217, which is about 10% drop.
Started these strikes, and I think that clearly.
I mean, I just don't underestimate anybody. What is the global cost of glass right now? Fresh glass. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look it up.
There will be consequences, and I think that at this point, with President Trump saying what he just said, the consequences side of that is absolutely unambiguously clear to Iran. What will happen going forward?
I see. You know how all week I've been asking you the question and posing it this way that
Tempered glass 8 to 12, laminated 12 to 15, low E 15 to 40, frosted 12 to 18.
to assist, or was this completely unilateral on the United States' part here? Because I was under the impression that if we were
Yeah, don't trade slightly radioactive.
would be involved in some capacity, maybe with intelligence sharing, maybe with actual kinetic assistance here. So I think that's a really interesting
Yeah,
question.
don't trade, Cranston. Buy. This is the time to buy when it goes down. For real.
To the point, remember, there was a lot of talk today about this
Like,
fleet of B-2 bombers. It was reported flying towards Guam, west. And then you have to think, well, why would they be flying west? Jennifer
I'm about to buy.
the mission followed reports, of course, of 6 B-2s taking off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri around midnight last night. The initial chatter suggested the aircraft were headed west toward Guam. Jennifer Griffin noted the true flight path was likely east.
like I just bought some XRP.
Have been a calculated deception. How much did that throw Iran off guard?
Well, I will say
Yeah.
the word of war is deception. This was very well done. It was, you know, they said they're going west. I actually.
Oh, really? Damn.
I'm like, you don't really gain much.
Yeah, I just bought some more XRP.
And by the way, I should mention, I've been to Guam a lot. I've been on Anderson Air Force Base. I've seen the hangars where the B-2s are stored. I mean, I'm very familiar with that. But the math just doesn't support it. The only thing you really gain out of it is that if you're going
It just knocked mine from 233 to 230. Nice. Hell yeah.
Guam, you don't get anything in terms of rate. If you're doing a lot of you may not have to overfly some places that you otherwise would have to overfly.
What do you usually trade in?
When you're doing long-range bomber missiles, but there wasn't a whole lot that was gained from doing that.
I don't.
Now, what we're certainly seeing is they said, "Hey, we're going to Guam." Now, Guam is going to
Rory, why did you want me to look up the price of glass right now?
So that would make sense, you know, to say, okay, they're going to Guam because that is the one place we acknowledge where we could actually put B-2s other than White Air Force Base. So it's, you know, it's like, okay, but it was complete misdirection. They had launched. They can't really cover up the fact they launched. I mean, literally, you could tell.
Significantly neutered. Their program is still alive. Let's go to some super chats here. Blake.
Great. Let's get some.
Yeah, I just bought some more Alpha. Literally, dude, I literally just bought XRP just now. Buy some, bro.
On Rumble, he said, "This is completely different. Trump hit them so hard, they have to reconsider. This isn't like."
Just took my shit from 233 to 230.
All of the regulations. I assume he meant sanctions there. Thank you, Shoanek. We have Casper Milk Toast donated $20 on Rumble. Thank you for covering this.
NASDAQ, gold, silver, crypto are all small accounts during the weekend. I trade future too. I want to start investing in the gold and silver bars, dude. I've always wanted to do that.
Trump recognized
Silver's the best one because it's always going up, correct?
To start at. And our Hirsch 707 gave $5. I don't get what the big deal is. Trump should tell the media.
I just caught it at 205.
Peaceful protests. LOL.
So it went up a little bit actually because it was at 199. Silver's up and down. Is it kind of like how gold is? When the economy's doing good, it's down, and when the economy's doing bad, it's up.
And then I'll read all of the YouTube ones.
Yes, please. Jack, chime in here, by the way. Everyone, just remember, please subscribe to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. Email us proof of subscription by screenshotting your subscription, freedom@charliekirk.com, and we will pick a couple winners. Jack,
okay.
What are you seeing? What are we hearing? What are your thoughts?
Is platinum the one that never loses value?
Jack.
All right. YouTube time. All right. Mike Camoro gave $50 and said, not a Christian unless you support
Really?
Israel.
Okay, nice. That's smart. That's very smart.
Based off of a Schofield Bible,
Kitco.com.
Bible from a man. I'm not even. Is he talking about
Why
Ted
should
Cruz
they?
here? Someone is very angry. Basically,
True,
says
Cranston.
it's not
Very
Christian
true.
I'm going to go do a whole podcast on the Schofield Bible.
Yeah, Tyler.
It's a total cope, okay? You don't know what you think you know about the Schofield Bible. Okay, anyway, it's not a separate Bible. It's not. They're like, oh, it is what's called it's like a study guide. Does that make sense? So it's like it interprets passages. People think like it changed the Bible. Oh man.
Oh, he doesn't know what's closed caption. Closed caption.
Okay, anyway,
hash function.
Silver's using meta. Yeah, okay.
Says, we will force a
I'm gonna check Kitco out. Right now I just do Coinbase Alpha.
Boy, you might want to surrender to avoid that one. Tristan gave $5 and said Christians who don't support Israel do not believe in God. John gave us $20 Australian dollars, which I think you can take and trade in at the bank for real dollars. And he said Israel was too excited to wait the 2 weeks, so not only did they dictate the actions to D.C., but also the timing. Where is American sovereignty and all of that? Thank you for the donation. I think that is overstating it a bit, but that's a take that we're seeing. Beautiful.
Yeah, oh, I know that. Silver's used in a lot of shit,
Do we
dude.
think Putin knew this was coming? I suspect he had his reasons, and I want to acknowledge some people have said, you know,
I hope
Russia
Putin don't
react
fucking get involved.
hostilely to this? Will China react hostilely to this? Both of those countries have a relationship with Iran, but I think a thing we've seen that's been pretty clear over the last week is no one outside Iran is really eager to die for Iran or start a huge fight over Iran. I think the most telling thing is Hezbollah, which is the closest thing they have to like a
Putin knows better. Putin.
of
I
Iran,
think
a
Putin.
militia.
Listen.
They've
Putin's crazy as
directly under
fuck,
Iran
but I think
before.
Putin knows better.
With Israel before. And once this started, they said we are not getting involved. We're not going.
Well, that's why it's a risk, though. That's why. Well, it's a risk.
Neutral in this one, and I think everyone else has.
I don't think Putin's scared. I think Putin's crazy. I just think he's smarter
Mark
than
Jackson
that.
Gave $100. Thank you very much, Mark. He says Gen X 1972.
I mean, Jesus was the Messiah. I know it's crazy, Godfather.
Exactly what I voted for. Make America, Americans, and the world.
I don't
safe.
understand that. That doesn't make sense.
Noe Reyes gave $10. He says air superiority.
No.
At its finest.
Stock market's just a gamble regardless. It's always a gamble.
Fight, win. Tommy Bessinger, $20. Thank you very much. He just said it. Go Trump. And
There's just people that know how to gamble better than others.
$5. Thank you to our Lord God for protecting America, Israel, and our great president, Donald J.
Yeah,
Trump.
definitely.
There's a bunch more. We apologize if we can't get to. Oh, we got a whole bunch of them more here. David McGovern.
I would hope so, Godfather.
Forced our hand, but fully support Trump. James Kaiser, $5.
Yeah, you never know, I
Charlie and
guess.
Drew for all the information. I'm 39. I am glad to see America become great again. Craig Kesselder, $5. Ready for $200.
That's true. Air superiority does, dude. Air superiority is a good fucking.
Bad for the world, maybe not bad for
Is
us.
definitely
$20.
a level up for your military. If you got good air support, you're good to go.
Well, if you come, I bet if they come to our events, they could.
And look, let's be fair. We have the greatest military in the world, regardless.
Trump is not playing. Blake Mann, $5. Thank you, Charlie and Turning Point USA, for all that you do. Oh no, Ryan just sent me a bunch more.
Let me ask you guys a question though. Did you see us going to war with Iran before going to war with China? Boat dog. Yep. No, you didn't. This is. Now China, on the other hand, I don't know. We'll see. Iran has several good cards on the table, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll see.
The benefit of the doubt here. That doesn't mean you have to agree with everything. That doesn't mean you have to agree with all the components here. But has President Trump not earned the benefit of the doubt at this moment? After all that we've been through, after all of the components, has Donald Trump not shown you and demonstrated that he is not for foreign wars?
I mean, we'll see. It's still a wait and see.
We've done multiple tricks.
Yo, what's up, Ed?
I worked with Tucker at this time. 2017.
I did too, dude.
Assad gassed his own people. We need to. This crossed the red line. We've got to overthrow it.
I didn't see this war coming. I thought we were going to go to war with China for sure.
Missile strike, and that was it. And then a couple years later, they kind of whipped up, oh, we got to do regime change in Syria again. He did another hit with missiles, and that was it. Soleimani, he took out Soleimani. There was some, I think, as you said, they fired some rockets at our guys. I don't think anyone died, but there was menacing gestures. Some
really?
Wanted us to escalate from that.
That's wild.
Summer 2019, they shot down one of our robots in the Persian Gulf, and some people said, this is an attack on America. We had to topple the Iranian government over this, and Trump shrugged and said, no, we're not.
I mean, listen,
so, and then
all I'm saying is, Roy, there is propaganda out there. I'm just hoping that Trump's right about this. That's all. I don't think the world is a stage. It definitely is. It's a theater. I don't think it's not that they don't want. I don't think that they don't want the smoke. I think they're dumb enough to engage in the smoke. I don't think they can beat us, but I think they're dumb enough to engage in it. I think they're fucking morons enough. Definitely.
Shoot your shot and get out.
Yep.
And
Everybody.
obviously, there's hazards to this. This is definitely the biggest intervention we've done. But, as you say, I think he's earned some trust from us.
Also, breaking news, unrelated, but big, Fred Smith, the head of CEO, has passed away.
CEO of
FedEx.
Oh.
Yeah. So Fred Smith was a great guy. I've actually always wanted to meet him. Phenomenal guy. Another one here, $49.99. No matter what you think, there's risk of people dying between both action and inaction. One might come sooner than later. One might cause many more deaths by doing nothing. Okay. Do we have Jack, or has Jack dipped out, as you could say?
They're doing airstrikes on all of our internet capability. Maybe that's the sleeper cells.
By the way, the tech has just been so just messed up. Okay, so let's get the map up here. Can we do a map break here? Can we just kind of show the entire? Can we get a new one of the Middle East, a topographical one? Can we please? And also, let's get this. These are the Situation Room pictures up. There's Marco Rubio, who is both NSC and Secretary of Defense. There's Raisin Kane, Susie Wiles. It's amazing. Susie Wiles, who's an amazing person, goes from running campaigns to situations like that.
I just like how Susie Wiles is so
great.
much left. Like, it just felt like every chief of staff we had in the first term was this like major character, and there was always this conflict.
They can't take us down, but they can offer turn nuclear war. Yeah, definitely, dude. No, I just don't believe in underestimating anybody, honestly.
At someone. Like, that's what we got with Kelly. Like, and then
The hoopsie poopsie. A great light bright niece. I really hope Power Elite don't get stupid. Same here.
Totally. And let's get that map break of the Middle East here. And by the way, I want to keep on hearing from you guys. freedom@charliekirk.com if you are just tuning in. Okay, so can we get one of the entire Middle East, not just of Iran, but we'll start there. So that's a very big country, Blake.
Very big.
Right, so
right.
We bombed several different sites there. Walk us through kind of where in Iran these sites were, and what does each one of the sites represent as the significance?
Exactly.
It's true,
we hit
Rory.
are basically about in the middle of Iran. If you if you looked at it where it says like Zagros Mountains and Alborz Mountains, kind of.
This partnership with WM's been a godsend.
Oh no, our military is superior. I'm just saying that doesn't mean that they won't engage in it.
And that's the core of about where the people of Iran are. Iran is about 92 million people.
Armenia says they will finish the war we just started. China will.
It's very mountainous. It's very rugged.
Kill
but you
Taiwan.
Valleys,
Data already coming out. The bombing wasn't successful at two
you get into
sites.
just the desert.
Really? Well, Mike,
who live
that's
there.
crazy. Yeah,
If you're in the bottom sort
So
of
I said, I'm hoping Trump was right about this. I'm not for war, so.
There's one or two cities and then not much else. Big desert.
Mm.
But yeah, so you're kind of bombing a string of sites in the mountains where it's still pretty densely populated. 92
You might be
million
right,
people
Mike.
In an area about 2.5 times the size of Texas. That's more densely populated than Texas, actually. So lots of people there, pretty spread out.
So you have a good way of thinking in a contrarian fashion. What do you have to say to people that say I didn't vote for this is an administration ender, this is the end of the coalition? I mean, this is June of the first year. Blake, how would you respond to that?
Yeah, so I can say that myself as someone who I don't want a war with Iran.
You have opinions that differ, that's fine.
But what I can say is like, first of all,
You
we
might
just
be
don't
right.
know how this is going to go yet.
No, Mike's not a liberal, well, at all.
Going to reply, and if they do,
Mike's not a liberal at all. Mike's right there like how we are.
administration ender. Currently, what has happened so far is the United States dropped some bombs on
We'll
some
see,
sites
man.
in Iran. We don't know what the death toll is, but if it reflects what we've had so far, maybe a few dozen people. We have dropped some bombs on Iran. That is our level of commitment. We have not landed troops on the southern shore of Iran. We haven't had paratroopers land in Tehran.
All
We are
right,
not
good.
doing daily bombing campaigns on all of Iran's cities. We have not turned this into
Yeah,
our
definitely.
equivalent of the Ukraine war. We have flown some
No,
bombers
he
over,
doesn't. I don't
dropped
think he
bombs
goes on
on
liberal
3
sites, though.
That's it. That is a very limited level.
Listen,
of
well, I'm telling you, bro. I have a lot of friends who are conservative, and they don't trust Israel at all. I'm telling you, they don't. I have a lot of friends that are for Trump, voted for Trump, love what he's doing, and they don't trust Israel at all. They don't trust him because if you look at all the propaganda, they're the ones pushing it all. All right, Godfather. Nobody watches Fox News, though, Will. That's what you're not understanding. We don't watch the mainstream media. Like, when I watch, like, Gutfeld and shit, like, that's just funny to me. I don't, like, watch them for my news or anything. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm just telling you that that's a take that a lot of conservatives takes. Yeah, no, we don't need to impeach him yet.
Secondhand information, not first. Quote,
Let's
reports out of
see.
Iran are that officers are refusing to
ALC was right. We don't fucking agree with ALC about anything.
After they fire. That is true. No, this is rational. This is actually rational.
Yeah, I don't.
No
That's
missile
why you
attacks
got
in
comments
Israel
like
since the
Mike's.
first
No,
time
like a lot of my friends.
Iran last week.
A lot of
Iran's
people I
ability to
know.
fire any missiles is severely degraded.
Sources and
US
some other
assets
deep
in the
internet
Middle East are
sources.
likely
Right. I
not
don't.
going to be attacked. Now, that's a very bullish interpretation, but that is actually a very rational and interesting thing. So let me kind of explain to you how this works. So there's a ton of Iranian ballistic missile launchers.
Yeah, Elliot's Omar is right.
A ton of them, right? And so
You gonna
we
marry
don't
your
know where
sister,
they are.
Jimmy?
And
Sister wife?
Wait, let me just pause. Can you guys work on getting us on Bannon with Rav? Steve wants to have us on. Can you call Rav and get that done, guys?
Listen,
There's a
I'm just
ton of
saying
these
that's just how a lot of
launchers
people are.
the-
And I'm not
the
saying it's
interior
all
of
Jewish
Iran.
people. I'm just saying
As
a
soon
lot
as
of these
ballistic missile
elites,
goes up from one of
like
them,
George Soros and
they
them,
outed themselves,
you know what I mean?
right?
A lot of
So
people
of
don't
these are,
trust
like,
them.
hidden in the hills,
I'm not saying I
hidden
don't or do.
in
I don't
the-
care.
The trees. I mean, it's a massive country, right? Put that map back.
Jimmy, you marrying your
Can you
sister?
imagine trying to just find
Ileana, his brother,
access-
fucking
By the way,
crazy.
just so driving from like Galveston to El Paso could take you like 10 hours. Now, you
Bro,
don't have time.
Ed, did you see the new Edgar video, bro? So fucking funny, dude.
And with probably a crappier road network, too.
Right, exactly. So
Let's go watch that.
As soon as one of these launchers goes up and it surfaces, then
Name your diseases in 10 seconds.
All of them?
Yes.
Mania, I've got endometriosis, fibromyalgia, plantar fasciitis. Do I have to do the mental ones too?
Yes.
Okay, absolutely.
Hit me hard.
Okay, we got, no, actually, borderline personality disorder,
Yep.
major depressive disorder,
Yep.
generalized anxiety disorder,
Yep.
ADHD. In case that wasn't obvious.
And a stutter. In June, the world has been taken over by Pride Month, and all the other holidays are taking a back seat. Even Santa has got a sideline gig working security. It's time for the World Pride Parade. They've gamified everything. Yay! Hi, buddy. Every gender is gathered, all 1,000 of them. It is a celebration of everything abnormal, and I hope you really
Oh
enjoy
my
yourselves.
God.
I'm going to be seeing if they really dig my gay superhero outfit. Let's see if I can get groomed.
Can I give you a kiss?
No, not yet. 20% of the sponsorships have pulled out of this parade. What is it about you that makes people want to pull out? Is this the problem? This is the newest trans flag. It's got triangle, it's got a circle. Let's be real, this flag is so ugly it must have been designed by a straight person.
He's
LGBTs
great.
get a whole month. But mom only gets a day. Is your mom a bitch or something?
Why is everyone's mom a bitch? That's why I am the way I am.
What did she do to you besides not endorse this hairstyle? Do you want to phone your mom right now with me? You want to FaceTime her?
No, not right now.
Are you ashamed of me?
No, yeah, a little bit.
Is your mom a bitch or something?
She's dead. She's dead.
Damn it! Why don't butch lesbians like men in dresses? Why don't butch lesbians wanna fuck men in dresses?
Bro, he is fucking wild. Yes, sir.
What's wrong with those bitches?
What is it?
Picky. What if they try?
Yeah,
really
a
hard,
week.
but
You're
they
right,
just can't
Jimmy.
hide that schlong? Would you self-describe as a butch lesbian?
No.
Because
I don't identify as a woman.
What the fuck?
But a woman.
Who's your favorite transgender? Elliot Page or Optimus Prime?
Oh, Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime? All right.
Is
Cool.
she gender?
Shifting from truck to robot, he sliced something off that was important.
I didn't see that in the movie.
Yeah, it's in the director's cut. Congratulations, Optimus.
Bro, this shit is fucking hilarious.
I am not transgender, little blue boy.
Bitch. I want you to name as many genders as you can in 10 seconds. Go!
These are him, they, them, she.
Those are pronouns.
She, him.
Why was she so timid like that? What is wrong with these people?
And they.
Those are pronouns, damn it! Come on!
I'm so lost!
Come on, damn it! You, as a commander, have failed the League of Lesbians!
Everything over the rainbow.
That doesn't count. You are a bad gay. Go!
Yeah, I'm like the folks in genders in India. We have sworn brides in Albania. You have like the mishte in Mexico. That's a third gender. Gender's a journey.
What's it like being the most boring person we've talked to today?
Asexual, pansexual.
Trans boy, trans girl, gender fluid, demi boy, demi girl. Hey, fucking Angie Santino, Carrot Top, Red Rocket.
These are not genders, but okay, keep going.
Oh, genders. I thought you said gingers.
Not gingers, genders, you pillock.
Oh my gosh. It's, you know what? It's your...
I'm falling asleep now. All right, I will move to someone less hot but more interesting.
Whatever you want.
No, it's someone.
Male, female.
You know, female, male.
Sorry to interrupt your gay video. The best way to support the fist inside me is to become a channel member. You'll get access to my videos a few days early, exclusive content, and 15% off my brand new merch store. All the information you'll ever need is down in the description. Let's get back to the show. Whee!
What is your favorite F word?
Whoa, that's crazy.
What is your favorite F word? What's your favorite F word?
Oh,
this is a children's show!
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's your favorite F word?
Those tits out.
I'm wearing a onesie, damn it! What is your favorite F word?
Forget.
You like to roofie people?
My favorite F word is friend.
Okay.
Friends.
Can we be friends?
Yes.
You can flop my ear flaps anytime.
Israel was responsible for JFK and RFK in 19. White Hawk missile system U.S. Kennedy offered in exchange for international. Man, it's just crazy, bro.
Wash your mouth out.
What's your favorite F word?
Fancy. Freaky.
This is the intelligent one in the group. No, I'm just kidding. You're smart too. You're not. What's your favorite F word?
Damn.
Friendship.
That's okay. Rate me from 1 to 10, baby.
Turn to the side again. Oh, yeah. 20. All right, bottom down, you're a solid like 3. 3. But, hey, halfway up to the face, oh, that's a dime. What gender are you?
Well, I tell you, sir, I got a fist rammed up deep inside me, so draw your conclusions. You look like you're both in the Navy.
French Navy.
That's like being double gay, isn't it?
I don't read to kids.
Would you rather read to old people or blind people?
Blind people, probably. I'd probably look better.
So you two are marriage counselors, and you produced 2 gay children.
Right, we're vegan.
I'm surprised. Now, how did you get to be asexual? Is it this outfit? No one will bang you?
This float is to commemorate the DNA that's gonna be in your butt.
That's crazy. Well, they say I didn't look at. Did they?
Because you like men or you hate.
Didn't they release the Kennedy files? Right.
Women.
Both.
Are you gay because you love women or you hate men?
Both.
That is a rock solid gold knob. Tell me about your knobs.
Yeah,
are really vibing with the Palestinians lately. Is that because neither of them
you're joining the Blue Crew ad. Let's go.
My gaydar is malfunctioning. What the hell are you? I'm a gay crime fighter. I'm solving gay crimes only. Speaking of, where did you get this outfit?
Well, if it isn't the Iran float. Nice try, but still gonna bomb you.
I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of bitchin'.
Oh boy. I'm captured by forces beyond my control.
Are you Harry Potter mixed with Paul McCartney?
Look, it's trans fat.
It's the float that says, sex is pride. Well, not the way I do it, sister.
I can write with my feet.
Someone got a pen now! What's the most creative thing you've ever done?
Named my cat.
What's your cat's name?
Charlie.
The fuck?
You don't have a fucking creative bone in your body.
I'll put a creative bone in him later.
The fuck?
Is everyone here just a hottie Mormon? Have I encountered a hottie Mormon convention? If you were an animal, what would your mating call sound like? Jesus!
The princess.
Mosquito fucker. You better. Are you trying to attract a paraplegic to mate with you?
Oh my God.
You are gonna mate with something. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it stands for.
Butt boy, butt boy.
Butt boy.
You want to say butt boy, don't you? Spit it out. You're used to that.
What the hell? Bad bitch.
He's fucking hilarious, Mike.
You go bitch.
Bitch.
With a Y.
Bareback.
Now, what is my special power?
Taking it up the invisibility.
Well, I would call you fisty, actually, but that.
I want to let you guys know I launched a merch store. Go to the description to check out the hats, shirts, posters, and mugs available now. Don't forget, members not only get
I like that shirt.
these cool items, but they also get to watch my videos early and get access to exclusive content. Like how I almost got arrested by the Coast Guard. Love you, bad bitch.
He's funny, dude.
Significantly neutered out. Now, a big difference there is that's a non-state actor who did it. Like, there was no government we could really overthrow.
Yeah, so that's the barracks bombing right there, 280.
And
so 283 U.S. service members died. How did Reagan respond when 283 Marines, I think, died?
so like I said, he responded by, we withdrew our troops there.
Who else is talking about it right now? J.D. Vance is pulling up. That's a good title. All PVD's talking about it.
Last 48 minutes. The number as of right now is how many people have been.
You know what's crazy? He's from Iran. PVD's from Iran.
400 people are watching this. Nearly 500,000 people have watched it in the first 48 minutes, 49 minutes that's about to be. Here's a question for you. Hope you didn't Google it, Brandon. Hope
I did
you didn't
not.
Search it.
I did
What
not.
do you think if U.S.'s GDP, top line revenue, is between 28 to 30 trillion dollars? What do you think is the top line revenue of Iran?
400 billion.
Adam, what would you say?
Somewhere between
250 to
300 and 600 billion, somewhere in that range.
It's $400 billion.
Oh, wow. I swear to God, I didn't look it up.
Okay, Brandon.
Check this out.
Okay, buddy.
Nerd.
By the way, check this out. You ready for this?
Nailed
You ready
it.
for this? Rob, can you do me a favor, Rob? Can you pull up what is Walmart's top line revenue? Can you pull up what is Walmart's top line revenue? Pull up what is Walmart's top line revenue.
Don't tell me.
Just type in what is Walmart's top line revenue. Look what it tells you. Watch this, folks. Iran, 92 million people. What is their top line revenue? Not the stock price.
Market cap,
Their
you're
top
saying?
line revenue is $681 billion.
Oh my God.
Walmart is bigger than Iran. How the hell is that possible?
That's
Walmart has 2.5 million employees. Iran has 92 million people. Smart people. Iranians know math. They're engineers. They're brilliant. They've built some of the most incredible things that we use today. Their empire, you go to the museum in Isfahan, they say this place has been here for 2,000 years. They don't say 100 years, 200
All right,
years,
brother.
300 years. 2,000 years,
Have a
2,500
good one.
years. They've been some of the most incredible human beings worldwide. With the stuff they've built, they're naturally, organically given. Go to an Iranian's house. Look how they treat you. Look how they serve you. Let me make the sandwich for you. Let me serve you with this. The Iranian people, not Khamenei, not those people. So these people are sitting there saying, Reza Pahlavi, what are we doing? Are we doing this or no? Suited up, looking all good, speaking proper English, being very smart. I get it, but make your move already. These people are waiting. Everybody else is waiting to see what's going to be happening. So now, watch this. Number one priority for Iran is their economy.
Yeah.
You realize if Iran was to be open right now with their economy, you can fit 82 Israels in Iran. You can fit seven UKs in Iran. That's how big Iran is. Look at Iran's location, how perfect it is. Europe this side, China this side, Russia this side. What a perfect location to be in for business. Everyone has
that's
to
true.
follow you.
That's very
You
true.
remember many years ago
Damn.
when Churchill, FDR, and Stalin all had to have a business meeting. Do you know where Churchill, Stalin, and FDR met? Rob, can you type in FDR, Churchill, Stalin meeting Iran? Can you just type that, please, in Google and pull this picture up? They had all these other places in the world to meet. They could have gone to Spain. They could have gone to Brazil. They could have gone to Acapulco. They could have gone to Argentina, Buenos Aires. They could have gone to London. They could have gone anywhere. Where did they have the meeting? In Iran.
Wow.
They had their meeting in Iran. Iran was one of the most important countries in the world to have safe in the Middle East.
Right.
And all they're looking for is a leader. They don't care what this person's background is. Come, bring us economy. Number two, women want to be left alone. Allow me to live my life. If I want to keep it, keep it. I see a lot of the videos right now that some markets in Iran, you can get away with that. And it's true. Some markets you can. But they're still walking on eggshells. They're still worried about what's going to be happening. They want their liberties. They want to be able to go to nightclubs. They want to be able to hang out and have fun. They want some of those Western ideas to come to Iran. They do. They want to be free. Let me make good decisions or bad decisions. Let me decide for myself, not you being the person that tells me what the hell to do. I got 4 kids. We're walking this morning. Me, Vinny, and Jim, we're having our walk. This is what happens when you get in your mid-40s, early 50s. You start kind of having walks in the morning, right? And we're talking, saying to Jen, I'm reading my business plan, which is somewhere around here. I don't know where I put it. Anyways, I probably took it upstairs. And one of the things on my business plan says, enjoy every minute with your oldest son. You only have 5 more years before he leaves you. Like this, 5 more years before he leaves you. I love hanging out with that guy. I love talking to him. There is nothing like it to be able to have those conversations with your kids, with your family. These Iranian people, that's what they want. They want to be free. My kids are going to make some decisions I don't support. Who are you for you to think what is right for me to make as a decision? The market's going to react already if you do something dumb.
Yeah.
Let them live their lives. Let people be able to do what they want to do. That's what Iranians are asking for. They're not asking for much. So all these other people that we're talking about that they're saying they're going to be doing something here, $400 billion is Iran. Most people think it's just oil. You know what kind of resources they have? All these sanctions were lifted. If somebody went to Iran that could have relations and it's tough and strong, that understands business, to be able to deal with the U.S., to be able to deal with Russia, to be able to deal with Iran, to be able to deal with China, there are many in Iran. This could be a wake-up call for you guys to go to them and say, hey, XYZ, how about you? How about you? How about you? How about you? This is on the people to go knock on the door. When I was living in LA, I flew back once in LA. Me, Tikran, and Mario went to a person's house. I went to their office. Mario and Tikran will remember this. Tico, I know you're watching this because you're texting me on this side and I'm trying to respond back, but I can't. You know what the meeting was with this man? I went there. He says to me, hey, good to see you. This is a very important person in my life. I said, do you know why I'm here? He says, yeah, I just wanted to come say hi. I said, no, that's not why I'm here. Why are you here? You need to run for governor. And you should have seen the look on his face. White. He's white. Skin is white. Looking at me. I cannot believe you just said that. No, you need to run for a governor. What are you talking about? You need to run for governor. Why do you think me? Why not you? You have influence, you have values, you have principles. Your state is relying on you. Do you not love the state? Yes, do something about it. And then I take him to Cancun on a trip 2 months later. I'm having dinner. His wife is sitting right across from me. I said, how you doing? Says, you know, since the meeting you had with my husband, you messed him up. He can't sleep at night because all he's talking about is the fact that Patrick said I should run for governor. Go talk to some people. Challenge him. Ask him. It's time. Do something. Because right now,
so what is he exactly saying? Is he saying what we're doing he agrees with? I don't get it.
That's not strong enough that can handle their own. Is that what we're going to be getting? Is that what's going to happen there? You think that's going to change? It's got to be somebody strong, somebody that can stand up tall and have those types of conversations. All I did is when I brought Reza Pahlavi the first time was to give him a platform to say, go, announce. And he said he doesn't want the job. Second time around, they didn't get a definite answer. Third time around, we see him on TV every day. So by the way, if it isn't him and he's going to play a role similar to what is in UK where there's the monarchy and you're going to play that role as an influencer to help out, someone needs to be a face. You need a face to start this next movement. And by the way, Adam, going back to you when you're talking about, I don't think you can do it on your own. I think U.S. has done plenty. I think Trump's done plenty. I think Israel has done plenty. I think it's on the Iranian people right now. They got to go and do what a lot of people are not willing to do. It's going to get nasty. It's not going to get pretty.
No.
And by the way, I am not one to sit here and tell you, do it no matter what, at all costs. I'm a father of 4. I would be concerned just like anybody else as they're going through this. But the reality of it is, to us, you know, to the people that are living in America, you have complete different things you're thinking about. To the people that are living in Iran right now, they're not following the, well, I should have regretted, I should have never voted for Trump. That's not what they're thinking about.
Right.
Iranians are thinking about, when can we have a concert in Iran of Drake? When can we have a player that wants to come and play with us? When can we have a sporting event here? When can we celebrate our New Year's with festivities? When can we open up Facebook, YouTube, Google, X in Iran? When can we start having iPhones,
Crazy.
Gucci, Ferragamo, Balenciaga, all the, when can we have some of this
Who
stuff?
cares
in
about
Iran?
that? But
When
yeah,
can
I
we
get
open
it.
up these businesses that are coming and building their headquarters here in Iran to create jobs for us? When? This is time for us to bring peace back to the Middle East, but it's going to take the right leader to want to do it. And God willing, the Iranian people, very smart people, some of the smartest people you'll ever meet. Hopefully they'll be able to find somebody that's got the backbone to be able to do this job. Rob, can you pull up the one thing that Brandon just said with the natural resources that Iran has? Can you put that up there? When you think about natural resources, you think about Russia, number one. We've talked about this before. 75 trillion.
Damn.
Look who's number 5 on that list. And
All
number
right.
2 is US, 45 trillion. 3 is Saudi, 34 trillion. 4 is Canada, 33 trillion. Look who's Iran. 27 ahead of China, ahead of Brazil, ahead of Australia, Iraq, Venezuela. Do you know with the right leader what Iran can turn into? Oh my God, what Iran could turn into with the right leader. By the way, you know, I don't want us to stay here any longer. I just wanted to do an emergency podcast here before we wrap up. One of the things I want you to be thinking about right now is the following. It is so hard. It is so hard when the person you voted for, you know, some people voted and they were like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. To those people, listen, you can bash the president, say whatever you want. I totally get it. To the people who feel there was an element of destiny with this man being in the White House, where this was a job that he needed to do. I know there were some people that this was a great opportunity to get up there and bash him, trash him, and throw him under the bus nonstop, and you have the right to do so. It's America, freedom of to trash him and throw him under the bus nonstop, and you have the right to do so. It's America, freedom of speech. In some countries, you can't do that. I even heard in Israel, they announced that you couldn't say certain things.
That's wild.
Even in Florida, they came up with something saying you can't say stuff about you can't talk about this kind of stuff. In America, we can talk. In America, we can have the debates, the conversations.
Yeah.
That's how it works. People call me out all the time. We call you out all the time. That's the great thing about America, as long as we do it respectfully.
Very
if
true.
anybody calls me out respectfully, I listen. This is the great thing about what we have here right now. But for those that really voted for this man and they want this thing to happen and they feel there was an element of destiny that this took place, for those people, where you were there 2016, 2020, you saw what happened to him, and you know they just released investigation. They want to look into the 2020 election to see what happened there. And this guy almost gets killed.
Yeah.
And we were in the Hamptons last year when he almost got killed.
Yep.
And Joe Biden was the one right after the debate. It was the worst debate performance I've seen in my life.
Ever. Worst debate performance ever.
And then we were about to have Kamala, $2.1 billion, give or take all these celebrities that support her, endorse her.
Yep.
And then we are here now. This is my suggestion to you. If by now you don't know who Trump is, you have an instinct issue. You have an intuition issue. If you don't know who Trump is by now, your alternative was Kamala. Your alternative was Joe Biden. And your alternative was a third party. The third party candidate joined Trump. His name was RFK Jr.
Yeah.
The third party candidate was Tulsi Gabbard, joined Trump. Couldn't get it done as third party. They knew he was the right guy. If you voted for him, this is a time for us to unite behind it and see what happens. Stay paranoid, stay skeptical. None of us have access to all the information as he does. No one's got more burden right now than he does with the job.
Yeah.
Trust me, I don't want any of our troops to go out there for us to lose anyone.
Exactly.
I've been there when the stories are delivered. They're not nice. They're not exciting. But I'm convinced the future looks bright. And when I'm doing this podcast, it's funny. I'm watching this. You know what's the first thing I noticed, Rob? Can you go back to the podcast? Yeah, I'm in New York right now. We're going to go do some stuff here in New York. We got some stuff that we're going to be doing. I'm watching this podcast, and I see that USA hat fires me up. I know this is a phase of fear porn, scared, I don't know what to do, all this other stuff. This is when leaders rise up. This is when leaders rise up and believe the future looks bright. It's okay for us to believe, be a little bit paranoid. It's okay for us to be a little bit concerned. We ought to be. It's okay for us to be worried about our kids, our safety, our family, all of that stuff. That's what leaders do. It's our job. The burden comes with it. But no matter how much burden you got, you just saw that man right there, what he did. This is why we love The Future Looks Bright brand. Rob, can you go to vtmerch.com, show those hats right there, USA?
Yo, anybody wants to jump in Discord and talk about it, we could jump on Discord. I'll drop the link. Here, give me 1 second. Discord. Invite people. Okay, there's that. Pinned right there. That's the link to my Discord if anybody wants to jump in. I'll be in general.
Fear sharpens listening, and a lot of people are afraid right now, which means people will listen. Hence, look how many people we got on the live today. We got how many people right now that we have today? 121,000 people joined us here today. People are afraid, but make sure you don't fall for the wrong propaganda that gets a hold of you. Because if you do, it can destroy
that's
your life.
That's the exact reason why you should always have like a wait and see approach about these things, because we don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes. All we know is what we're told and what we see. So until we find out what's really going on, just have a wait and see approach about it.
Can give you some love. Kudos to Rob for doing what he does.
No, take that face away.
Kudos to our team, to Vinny, to Adam, got off the flight, Tom, Brandon, all of you guys, and to all the people that joined in with us here today. We love you guys. We appreciate you. The future looks bright. God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's watch this fucking douchebag.
We're Phoenix Energy, a family-owned oil company focused on unleashing American oil from North Dakota and Montana. We've already
addressing the nation. We go back to Trey Yangst. He is in Israel tonight. I would expect as we head into dawn that Prime Minister Netanyahu will be addressing his nation.
I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see what Jesse Lee Peterson has to say about it. I wonder if he said anything
Sean,
next.
absolutely. We're witnessing a historic moment in the Middle East right now that has a real chance to change the status quo for the region. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has just released his first remarks following the American strikes against Iranian nuclear facilities. He says tonight President Trump and the U.S. acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people
look
of
at
Israel.
their numbers, it's all the same. Okay, maybe a couple $100,000 over here. The paperwork isn't exact. We filed all that, so you know. So maybe the exposure. But they never wanted the money. They just go, oh, you don't worry about that. And we're like, my lawyers are like, you watch. Down the road, they're going to come out and say this again for headlines. And sure as hell, they did it. So, Alex Jones allegedly hid money from Sandy Hook families. New lawsuit says by the U.S. trustee, the guy that did the fake auction, the judge.
I'm surprised he's not talking about it. He's not even talking about what's going on.
Thank you. He goes on to talk about the close coordination between the Americans and the Israelis. But we just heard from President Trump there speaking at the White House, and he made clear.
Yeah, if anybody wants to talk about it in Discord, the link's right there. Go ahead and click it and you can jump in.
Moving forward, because remember, Iran had two key levers to pull. They had their ballistic missile program that has been largely decimated by Israeli strikes, and they had their nuclear program that has been largely decimated by American strikes. And tonight, the region is in a new place. There is a new path forward, and President Trump is giving the Iranians yet another chance to step back from what would be more American strikes and Israeli strikes targeting what's left of IRGC leadership leadership and what's left of the political leadership inside Iran. Now, I spoke tonight with an Israeli security source asking what the mood was like in the security echelon here in Israel. That source said everyone is just repeating, God bless America, God bless President Trump. They described this as euphoria and historic for these officials, saying there is a sense of relief. Remember, the Israelis largely considered Iran as the big war that they would face. The past 9 days have been incredibly difficult for the Israeli people as they've come under ballistic missile fire following the launch of this Israeli operation against those nuclear sites and against top nuclear scientists inside
I don't
of
trust
Iran.
this dude, man.
But
I'm
tonight,
sorry.
the region has changed. The nuclear sites have been largely destroyed, according to President Trump. There still is a minor threat of ballistic missile fire, but we understand that tonight Israel remains on high alert. They are entering into a new state of emergency, changing the Home Front Command guidelines for the civilian population here of more than 9 million people, trying to limit public gatherings tomorrow, canceling workplaces and schools, understanding that Iran may decide to respond. But again, the latest information, Sean, that we have here tonight, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reacting to these American strikes that targeted Iranian nuclear facilities, Isfahan, Natanz, and Fordow. The places that the Iranians were enriching uranium, trying to get closer to weapons-grade material that they would then use in a nuclear bomb. President Trump announcing tonight from the White House those sites have been destroyed, and Iran no longer has the leverage that they had just 24 hours ago going into any future conversations with the Americans or the Europeans across the world. Sean?
All right, Trey Yangst in Israel tonight. We'll get back to you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
And most importantly, on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen.
Putin threatens to enter war.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
And we provided this assistance. Tell me, where did I go wrong? At what point did I make a mistake? Well, you simply will not find it. It is not there. Everything flows from one place to another. When I talk about the Kosovo precedent, I remember what happened then. The Western European countries and the United States put quite serious pressure on this UN court, and it made the decision that if a part of the country has decided to separate, it does not have to turn to the central government for an agreement. That is it. You see, they did everything themselves. And then they say, how can you do this? Can you do this? Is it not allowed here? It will not be like that. The rules must be unified. Only then will they be stable. And this is a guarantee of security for everyone, not at the expense of others. This is the key thing, the key link. So we are ready to meet. By the way, I said that I am ready to meet everyone, including Zelensky. Yes, this is not the point. If the Ukrainian state trusts someone to negotiate, for God's sake, let it be Zelensky. The question is not this. The question is, who will sign the document? Listen, I did not come up with anything. In the propaganda sense, you can say anything about the legitimacy of the current authorities. But it is important for us, when solving serious issues, not the propaganda component, but the legal one. And how is it legal? According to the Constitution of Ukraine, the President of Ukraine is elected for 5 years. There is no way to extend the powers, even in a military situation. Read carefully. In a military situation, only the parliament of the Rada can extend the powers. It is written there that elections are not held in a military situation. This is true, but nowhere does it say that the president's powers are extended. No, that's all. According to the Constitution of Ukraine, it is not a parliamentary and not a presidential republic, but a presidential parliamentary republic. What does this mean? It means that all the authorities are formed by the president, including the democratic society.
Okay.
This is how the state can be arranged. Everyone is appointed president. and all military leaders are appointed president. All ministers are appointed president, and all governors are appointed president. There is no election, but if the first person is illegitimate, the entire system of power becomes illegitimate.
Who's he talking
Why
about,
am I
though?
saying this? We do not care who is negotiating, even if it is the acting head of the regime. I am even ready to meet some kind of final stage, so as not to sit there and divide something endlessly, but to put an end to it. But the signature of legitimate authorities should be there. Otherwise, the next one will come and say, throw it all away. But this is not possible because we are solving serious issues. Therefore, I do not refuse this, but a lot of work must be done. And finally, the most important thing. Well, maybe not the most important thing, but it is important. Before the conflict began, we asked the Ukrainian authorities to implement all the Minsk agreements. They refused. Then a special military operation began. As soon as it began, we told them, listen, let's withdraw our troops from Donetsk and Lugansk republics, which we recognized as independent states. And that's it. It will end
Oh, I just
tomorrow.
watched this earlier, Mike.
No, we will fight. Then some time passed. I have already said this publicly. One of my Western colleagues asked me, could you imagine that this is the Kherson region? This is Zaporizhia.
Putin's wild. Let's see what my dude has to say.
All right, everyone, we have breaking news. I thought that the news of the day was going to be going to the mermaid parade on Coney Island, but apparently Donald Trump had different things in mind. He appeared, now within the last 20 minutes actually, as I'm making this video, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth as well, in order to announce that the United States has conducted strikes against Iranian nuclear facilities with B-2 bombers. Yeah, they dropped bunker busters on them, and that softens them up real good, and then I believe they dropped mother-of-all bombs on them thereafter. So those facilities are effectively at this point, due to the shock wave, they'll be kaput. There's not going to be a whole lot left down below. Now, thankfully, the number of human casualties is probably pretty low because these facilities had already been bombed, had already been damaged. So here's good news number one. The number of human casualties is probably on a fairly low order of magnitude. I don't want any human casualties, and I absolutely excoriate war in general, but if it's more limited, I mean, it's better if one person dies than if 1,000 people die. I think that most of us, if we're being honest, would agree with that. That being said, there's also some bad news. This brings us onto the brink of war with Iran. Now, Iran has been exposed as effectively a bit of a paper tiger. Their ability to retaliate against Israel was, you know, relatively limited, and their ability to retaliate against our strikes apparently effectively non-existent. I don't think that there was a single U.S. casualty in the course of these operations. Those are the good news.
Yeah.
The bad news is, again, it brings us closer to a possible regional war.
Yep, and that's the bad thing.
I still have to oppose this. And that's because when I think about it, how does this make me measurably more safe than I was 24 hours ago? Does it make me more safe, the fact that the United States decided to bomb the Iranians? No.
No.
In fact, one of the reasons that I voted for Donald Trump, this is not what I voted for, Big Don, sorry.
Yeah, not what I voted for either.
In 2016 was because it looked like Hillary was preparing to do effectively the same thing. So I'm a little bit upset, actually, at the moment. All I wanted to do was go and see a crazy parade where, you know, half of the people that are watching are drunk or high. Trust me, you can smell a lot of weed on Coney Island. Just saying. That's what I wanted to do today. Instead, I come back, and it's like everyone's like flying around, you know, trying to analyze the news.
It's crazy.
Because, you know, they've hauled off and literally attacked the Iranians. Now, Trump is saying that if Iran is willing to negotiate, and this is his strategy, by the way, that there won't be any further problems. If they don't, there will be further problems, which probably means, hey, you know, the rest of those facilities out there, they're pretty vulnerable because apparently you don't have any anti-air capabilities capable of dealing with a B-2 stealth bomber.
Bunker
I
buster.
think that he's effectively trying to mafioso them at this moment. That is a dangerous game.
Very dangerous.
It could work absolutely perfectly. Iran says, okay, you know, either we're going to lose half of our military or we're going to have to belly up to the bar. That's the hope. The hope is that sanity prevails and negotiations break out. The problem is that might not actually happen. The problem is that you could get a situation, as I've explained before, where other people get involved. And that would be potentially
Putin,
deadly because there
Russia,
are other nations in the world that have technology
China,
that is at least reasonably on par with ours and could actually potentially cause us to face a threat on the battlefield. They may not have the B-2, which is the only plane, I guess, apparently in the world that can drop one of these things.
Yeah.
They may not have the toys that make the noise on the same level as us, but they could potentially pose a threat to Americans in the region, potentially pose a threat to our troops and so forth. And of course, as principle, I am
and this is kind of what I say, you know, you can never underestimate your enemy. Don't underestimate anybody, but especially somebody who has animosity towards you. Never underestimate them. Ever. Never, ever underestimate them.
Simply anti-war. I believe in beefing up the domestic militia, arming it as well as possible.
Yes.
Have a beefy military, but don't use it very much.
No.
Yeah, okay. Regarding shipping lanes, you know, stuff like that. That's fine. That's fine. You know, literally, again, the bad pirates, those are the ones that you want to target. The good pirates like me just go to parades, apparently. That being said, though, I can understand the rationale, but I also, I have to condemn it. I cannot support it because Donald Trump ran once again on a platform of wanting to be a peacemaker.
Right.
Making your point and trying to force peace.
It's a different
sense
to you.
in a pragmatic fashion,
but
people still died in these strikes. They're actual human beings, believe it or not. Yes, Iranians are human beings. Some people may not quite understand that. So I still can't fully support it. I will mince words slightly because at least I can understand the rationale, but beyond that, really, I don't think that this was a good idea. I also don't think that it's actually going to help bring peace to the region. I don't think that trying to threaten the Iranians by saying, hey, we can run air superiority over your country 24/7 and there's nothing you can do about it, I don't think that's going to be helpful, and there's one glaring reason why. And I don't know if Hegseth, Trump, Vance, Rubio, all these others, I don't know if they 100% understand this. The regime was teetering on the brink of instability already. And so the nuclear program, having been damaged by the Israelis, probably was also teetering on the brink as well. Oh shit, you know, half of our centrifuges broke. Well, that's going to set us back 5 years. That's basically what happened. The damage was already done. By getting the U.S. more directly involved in precision military strikes, what you've done is you've given a rallying cry to the hardliners in the country who will try to reabsorb the people who have begun to protest against the regime. A large number of people were. and saying, screw this shit. We don't want any war. What are you doing? And just get away and let us have a new government, one that actually represents us.
Yeah.
They were already taking those steps themselves, and now the U.S., the great Satan, death to America and all of that stuff, has gotten centrally, directly, physically involved. I don't believe that that's going to be helpful in the end. Have you knocked back their potential nuclear program 30 years? Yeah, wonderful. Now you've just made an even more painful situation in which people who otherwise probably would have risen up against the regime all of a sudden say, well, which one do I choose? The regime that I don't really like, or these foreigners from across the Atlantic Ocean who just bombed us? This is going to be used for an amazing amount of propaganda. I guarantee it. Over the next 48 hours, you're about to see a news cycle that's going to blow your mind, by the way. Oh, liberals will weigh in, conservatives will weigh in, MAGA and neocon, by the way. Neocons will say, hail Trump, yay, he made a good decision. MAGA, some of them, perturbed by liberals, of course, will say, I'm done with this Trump bullshit. And then liberals, of course, will be doing the perturbing, and some of them will say...
I'll say this, I'm not done with... This is a mistake to me. Personally, I agree. I'm not liking it so far. Looking at, just watching everything. We'll see. I'm still have a wait-and-see attitude, and I'm hoping that Trump's right about this. But I don't agree with war. But if this is the only bad thing that comes of it, and hopefully none of our soldiers get dragged into it. Now, if our soldiers get dragged into it, that's another story. But let's wait and see about this, and
say, well, this is actually a good decision. And others will say, it was terrible mistake and so forth. I'm on the side of I'm simply anti-war. I don't approve of the decision.
All right. Oh, yeah. I didn't know he was on. That's what I was going to say. Jimmy, you got Discord?
Without the United States. Without the Jewish mafia, without the Jewish mafia running guns to Israel in 48, without JFK being assassinated to clear the way for Lyndon Johnson to come in and pour conventional arms into Israel, without Jews in America stealing the United States nuclear program to give it to Israel.
Oh, shit.
Without the U.S. bailing them out in 73, without the neocons giving them their war in Iraq, it would have never happened. So the United States is just as much a part of this, and there's subterfuge over the Republican Party, over the American state.
I love Nick
It's a quintessential part of the plan, and that includes the media and public opinion. So anyway, that's why we're here, and forgive me if that was a little disorganized or rambly, but while I have a big audience here, who knows? Now that we're going into a war, there might be wartime censorship. They might take me off the air because we're going to a war with Iran. There's going to be false flags. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
And they don't want people like me to have a voice to counter the narrative. So
right.
I thought I would do my due diligence and lay that out. I hope that was a little bit informative, even if it was a little disorganized. I had to put the show together very quickly because the strikes came out of nowhere tonight. But that's all I got for you. That's my show tonight. That's the whole story. And by the way, that's why I've been canceled. For anybody that's watching this and saying, I thought this guy was a Nazi, I thought this guy was a racist, calling me those names is a part of it. Because if people like me were popular and were able to just make arguments in public and do my thing, people would be educated and maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. So that's part of it.
Yeah.
Calling everybody who criticizes Israel an anti-Semite, that's why. They don't want you to have the information. And the information's out there, but if they attack anybody that advertises the information or puts it out there, well, people aren't going to get it. So that's that. So that's my stream. That's all I got for you. We're at war with Iran. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, it really is.
We got some super chats here. I'll read them, and then I'm going to get out of here because I got to look. It's been a long week, okay? It's been a long week for your guy. I've had no breaks this week, but that's because, you know, this is the moment. This is my time to shine here. All right, but let's take a look. We'll look at the super chats, and then we're going to get out of here. But thanks, everybody. Before we read the super chats, I just want to say thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And on Monday, I will be back. I'll be doing my show as scheduled on Monday. I'll be early because this is a big deal. So Monday at 8 o'clock Central, if you want the whole story on the strikes and the latest, I'll be covering the war in Iran all week, this coming week, starting Monday. So be sure to tune in. All right, but I'm going to dive in. We'll take a look at the super chats, and we'll see.
Growl, I present $10. Started reading Spy Fail after you mentioned it a couple days ago. Detailed breakdown of Israeli intelligence and American Jews running circles around American intelligence. Mainstream progressive author explaining how Carter covered up an Israeli nuclear test so he didn't upset the Jews. Nice.
Yep, that's a good book. For anybody that's interested, I'm going to give you a few good books, okay? Spy Fail, excellent book. Against Our Better Judgment by Allison Weir. The Israel Lobby by John Mearsheimer. One Nation Under Blackmail by Whitney Webb is a good one. Let's see, what else? Israel Shayhak. 3,000 Years of History of Israel. It's very short, though. Israel Shayhak is a great author. American Pravda by Ron Oons on the Oons Review. I'll give you some of these just while I have you here. I'd be irresponsible not to. Let me give you some book recs, okay? Spy Fail by James Bamford. Against Our Better Judgment by Allison Weir. Great book. This is it. Israel Lobby by Mearsheimer's like one of the preeminent scholars on foreign relations. He's a U Chicago. I mean, this is not coming from, you know, Hitler 2 or whatever. Oons Review, American Pravda series is great. Whoops. If you pull up Ron Oons, whoops, got a little DDoS check here. Where is the, So this American Pravda series is great, really excellent. If you want an opener, this is it. Oons Review, American Pravda. If you want a good primer.
I don't read a lot of books. Do you guys read books?
And you can look like 9/11, 8,000 words. Seeking 9/11 truth after 20 years. There's one about 9/11. There's stuff about Mossad assassinations. John McCain and Jeffrey Epstein. How Hitler saved the Allies. The ADL. Holocaust denial. That's a really good one. 18,000 words. Oddities of the Jewish Religion is one of my personal favorites. And Ron Oons is Jewish. He's Jewish. He's pretty liberal on a lot of things. Like, he's in favor of immigration. He's not a white nationalist. Like, he's, and he's Jewish. He was in California, ran for governor. Like, none of these people are cranks. Like, these are all, like, respected scholars. This is a good place to start for everybody. Okay? I'm trying to think. And then Israel Shayhak, he's cited extensively in Ron Oons, but you could just read him directly. I think it's on Internet Archive, actually. The Weight of 3,000 Years. This is on Internet Archive. Anyone can access the PDF.
Look at that. It's crazy.
And it's like 100 pages. Or no, I guess it's 300, but... Or no, it's 100 pages. Yeah, it's pretty short. So... Yeah, so those are just some recommendations. Write this down, write this down. All right, with that, we're going to take a look at our super chats. Now we're going to see what you guys have to say. I just want to help you guys out a little bit. All right. Now let's take a look.
Fart Simpson sent $10. That's a nice shirt. Sharp. No homo.
Thank you. There's another one called The Talmud Unmasked. It's by a Catholic priest. That's a good one. Oh, there's so many. So many good books out there. But, all right, those are just a few.
Abbas Ali sent $10. For years my main sources have been Daily Wire and Steven Crowder, but now that you red-pilled me, I want to know what you use. Until you tell me, I'll keep using them.
Well, me. I'm a great source. I told you yesterday, antiwar.com. I just gave you a few.
Tactical Nuke sent $20. Glad I went to confession today. Much love from Tac Nuke and Daisy.
Wow, Tactical Nuke. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Tac Nuke and Daisy. Oh my God, that's crazy. Bruh married an e-girl, but hey, you know what? God
Connor
bless.
MC Growiper sent $10. You keep doing these weird segments that no one cares about. Like that painfully long Cookie King bit you did the other night.
Well, it's not for boomers, I'll tell you that for free.
Crank Erzog sent $25. Praying they don't kick up the censorship after this. The truth needs to spread. Also prayers for Christine.
Yeah, that is really the big concern now.
Dan Zamnut sent $50. 07.
Thank you.
Yellow Fever sent $50. Paula Market bet paid. Here's your cut.
All right, thank you very much. I'll tell you, look, if you bet on this based on my information, you need to pay me out. Because did I not predict that this is exactly what would happen? I said on Thursday, I said, watch the talks on Friday. If the talks fail, we're getting strikes.
Yep.
How is one man so vindicated? I'm just... I'm so far beyond you. So,
Anon64 sent $50. That unreleased AI video of Trump declaring war on Iran would have gone so hard right now. Imagine every single BA-posphere Trump sucker saying, how did Nick predict the future? Hopefully the more earnest people bend the knee now that it's undeniable you were correct. 07 less than 3.
They must submit.
Silver sent $109. W-Jews starting World War III. The nothing ever happens chat has been defeated.
Yeah, at least they defeated him. But thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it.
Dallas sent $4,500.
Whoa!
Big super chat. No message. Even better.
Wow, thank you for the huge soup. That's crazy.
That's
huge
wild.
Super chat from Dallas.
This dude just got a $4,500 super chat.
Is that the Dallas or is that a different Dallas? Wow. 07's in the chat for Dallas. Well, really, that's from Iran. That's a pallet full of cash straight from Tehran. Straight from Qatar, am I right?
Damn.
No, kidding, of course. It's from Dallas, obviously.
Dallas sent $400. Hi, Nick.
All right, and another to complete the set.
Oh,
Thank
my
you very
gosh.
much. I appreciate it. 07's in the chat. God bless, buddy. Thank you for the support. I couldn't do it without the viewer donations. We don't do... I'm going to do a little shill here now. I don't do advertisements. I have no sponsors. It's all viewers supported. Otherwise, there'd be no way to do the show. No sponsor wants me to say this shit, so... Thank you for the massive super chat. We owe the show to you. God bless. We owe the Big Macs, the beer and pizza. Well, for me, the Coke and pizza. I don't do beer, but God bless, buddy. Thank you very much.
Nicholas Jonette sent $12. Do you think Trump is just a cowardly person afraid of death with no faith in God who is blackmailed? Just a fool? Is he a Masonic/crypto Jew from birth? Something else? Or is it just who gives a fuck and fuck that motherfucker? Thanks, Nick.
There's no way to know. In some ways, it doesn't matter. He is what he is, effectively. In his heart of hearts, it almost doesn't matter.
Hilton Head Growiper sent $50. What are your thoughts regarding the potential for conscription?
I think that's unlikely, but, you know, never say never. How wide and deep this can go, nobody knows.
Zim Growiper sent $80. You're 10% of the bet, sir. What would the next step be if Iran were to acquire a nuclear bomb?
Thank you, man. Oh, if they acquire a nuclear bomb, we'd probably nuke them. I don't think they will, though. I don't think they'll be able to do that. But
I don't think so either.
It's not outside the question that we will see a false flag before this is over. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
This is a big and serious country. Israel wants to topple the government. Who's to say they don't detonate a dirty bomb? Who's to say they don't do something outrageous? I mean, we can, I don't, at the risk of sounding hysterical or alarmist, anything is possible now.
That's true.
I don't think that's likely, but anything is possible.
Anything is definitely
possible.
Freeman sent $100. Thanks for the show, Nick. Now that the word got out that all the other viewers and fans are fake, I realize that you're all putting in so much effort just for me to have a world-class show every day. Truly grateful to you and Iran for doing all this. Also shout out to Qatar and the Kremlin for their help. When will this be available in VR?
Thank you for the big super chat. Will what be available? The show? I don't know. Can't you watch it in VR? Yeah, thank you to... I'd like to thank God and the Kremlin and... The Ayatollah, no, obviously, that's a bunch of propaganda. I'm America first. I don't even look. Fuck Russia. Fuck Iran. It's about America.
Yeah.
You know, I'm America first.
Chris Knob sent $100. Do you think Trump knows what this is going to do to his legacy, especially with the people who backed him? Or do you think he cares more about his donors and is surrounded by so many pro-Israel advisors that he has no clue? He's close to being a senile old man, and I doubt he's reading comments on Twitter or Truth. He's also a boomer who's been propagandized for decades.
Like I said, who knows? I mean, who knows? He could be. It could be as simple as he's a clueless boomer. He's being manipulated. I don't know. At a certain point, you have to take responsibility. That's why I say it doesn't matter. Whether he's being tricked by his advisors, there's just no excuse at this point. So, he has the blame one way or the other.
Based wife Happy Life sent $100. Wife found you during the first Roy War. Been watching ever since. Unbelievable how on the money you have been. Thank you for keeping us informed. You are a blessing to humankind.
Wow.
$100 says you hit the next one on the head. Make America grow up again.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words and the big super chat. It is pretty crazy. I mean, look, if you watch the show, we obviously have tons of new viewers right now, but if you've been watching my show for 2 years, you got to admit, it's pretty uncanny. If you're one of my viewers that tuned in after Yay 24, after October 7th, you know I have been on the money on this every night, almost to the point of being annoying.
This is crazy.
I do appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Bodwig Roy sent $50. I financially prepared for this day for 6 months thanks to you, Nick. It's not much, but I have to pay my dues.
Hey, that's okay, man. Love to hear it. Thank you.
Yeah, I go there sent $100. God bless Israel. How about God bless Nick Fuentes?
Well, God bless America. But thank you for the big super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you for the blessing. Thanks for the big super chat. I do appreciate it.
HLF Mexican HLF Palestinian sent $107. Trump asking not what he can do for a country, but what he can do for Israel. His press release was nothing more than stating he is the best little goy doing Israel's bidding.
Literally.
Total NJF
Dude,
vindication.
Literally. 5-minute speech. How many times did he mention Israel? Israel safer. We've been in. God bless Israel and God bless the United States. Like, what? It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Oil Dan Sticky sent $50. You know all of this about Jewish people / Jewish Personland, and you know that they have the power to kill sitting presidents and have networks of hidden allies. Did you expect Trump to take office and just say stop and they would listen? What would you have done differently to stop all of this and remain alive and not JFK or Gaddafi?
Who knows? It would have been like a martial law thing. Like, you would have to actually go into a bunker and give a televised address. I mean, we are so late in the hour. The hour is so late.
Yeah.
We're so late in the game. I don't even know what you could have done, you know, but he should have tried to do something. Maybe give a speech. There's ways. We're the United States. You're telling me we couldn't protect our country? I mean, I find that hard to believe that there was no way that we could have avoided this.
BMAX sent $100. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. I'm going to read the big ones tonight because this is a supplementary stream.
Joey Batts sent $50. The cope I'm seeing now is we've been at war with Iran since 1979. These people are totally lost. It's sad. Thanks for stream, man. Middle East AP course in one show.
Yeah, that's how they're framing it, right? The real forever war is the war with Iran. You know what this is called? This is called Hasbara. This is called Hasbara. Do you know what Hasbara is? I'll educate you. The public diplomacy of Israel, or Hasbara, includes mass communication, individual interactions with foreigners through social media and traditional media, as well as cultural diplomacy. Hasbara roughly means explaining. It is a communicative strategy that seeks to explain actions, whether or not they are justified. It focuses on providing explanations about one's actions. It has been called a reactive and event-driven approach. The French journalist gave the following example of Hasbara, in a French paper citing an IDF spokesman. As rockets traced white lines across the sky on New Year's Eve, Colonel Rafowitz gave vent to his outrage on the news. For those wondering why Israel has to eliminate Hamas, here's your answer. Hamas terrorists are indiscriminately bombing Israeli cities on the stroke of midnight. There were no reported Israeli casualties, but on December 31st, the IDF's bombing of Gaza continued uninterrupted, causing 300 deaths, just like any other day. A few days later, the total number of neutralized Palestinians, at least a third of them children, passed 22,000. About this, he said nothing. Edward Said wrote in 2001, Hasbara methods used during the Second Intifada, including lunches and free trips for journalists, seminars for Jewish students, invitations to members of Congress, pamphlets and money for election campaigns, telling photographers and writers what to photograph or write about, lectures and concert tours by prominent Israelis, references to the Holocaust, and newspapers and advertisements attacking Arabs and praising Israel. It encompasses different forms of communication, interaction with the public. It engages in open and fully attributable, undirectional or unidirectional mass communication that targets unaffiliated civil populations in other countries. In other words, they're trying to convince the masses that they're awesome, and they literally have a handbook for it. You can, once again, find that on Internet Archive. It's called the Hasbara Handbook. And it's a step-by-step guide on how to convince people to support Israel. I don't know if you could read this. Let me do full screen. But they literally publish a handbook, how to trick the Goyim. 25 rules for effective communication, a glossary of words that work, how to talk about Palestinian self-government, isolating Iran-backed Hamas as an obstacle to peace, the language of tackling a nuclear Iran, Gaza, Israel's right to self-defense and defensible borders, loan guarantees and military aid. Okay, this was published in 2009. It was published in 2009. Let's go to words that work. How can I scroll through?
This shit's wild, bro.
Look at what they do. Emphasize that Jewish Israelis and Arab Israelis enjoy equal rights. Paint a vivid picture of what life is like in Israeli communities vulnerable to rocket attacks. We have all made mistakes. Admitting that Israel has and continues to make mistakes does not undermine the overall justice of Israel's goals. Let's see, what are some of the other sections? There's another one that kind of lays out their particular strategy. Or you know what, I'm thinking of even a different handbook. But we'll go to, let's see, 33. Point is, like, this is all out of when they say stuff like the real forever wars is Iran, I mean, it's literally out of a playbook like this. Okay.
Yo, Monica and Cam, how you guys doing? This is wild, bro.
All Americans, even those on the left, and many Europeans get that Iran-backed Hamas is a terrorist organization. However, to Americans, there's a vital distinction between the Hamas leadership and Palestinian people that you must appreciate and weave into all of your language about Gaza. To them, Hamas is evil, but the Palestinian people are poor and underrepresented. For now, your rhetorical quarrel needs to be with Hamas, not the people of Palestine. A big picture approach is this: you must isolate Hamas as a cause of delay of achieving a two-state solution, source of harm to the Palestinians, and a reason why Israel must defend itself. Frank Luntz, this is literally his job. Have you ever heard of or seen Frank Luntz? This was literally his job. In December, whoops. Hang on. In December 2008 to January 2009, Luntz wrote a report titled Israel's Project 2009 Global Language Dictionary. He wrote that book that I just showed you.
Yeah.
It was commissioned by the Israel Project and meant to advise media spokespeople to use specific language he believed would create a more favorable impression of Israel in the United States and the rest of the international community. And Frank Luntz was roommates with Kevin McCarthy,
That's
the
pathetic.
former Speaker of the House. Contributor on Fox News, does opinion polling. Hang on, maybe it was in another piece. Republican House Leader Kevin McCarthy admits he rented a room from GOP pollster. Okay, so the guy that wrote that book, when they say things like the real forever war is Iran, that is an advisory that has been created by marketing people like Frank Luntz, who wrote one of them 15 years ago. He was a roommate with the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, okay? So when they say things like Israel's white, the reason they hate Israel is because they think Israel's white and they hate settler colonialism like BLM does. That's coming out of a playbook. That's literally coming out of a handbook written by people like Frank Luntz, who are paid by the Israel Project to write it. Okay, just so you understand. Anyway. So that's that. But we could get back to the super chats. I just want to point that out, because a lot of people don't know this stuff. So.
Lee Rigel sent $50. What do you think the Taliban's response to all of this is? I don't know if I just haven't been paying attention much, but they've seemed oddly quiet over there.
They can't do anything about it. They're
Yeah, they're
obviously
not gonna do
against it,
shit.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they're for
Album
sure
sent
against
$50.
it. but
Thank you for
not
your
gonna
stream
do
on your day
nothing.
off.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's
Riposte sent $50. Right again about everything award.
yeah,
Crazy.
I'm racking them up.
Roy Masterflex sent $100. No message.
Thank you very much. I
Perma Bala sent
appreciate it.
$100. Right about everything, every day, always award.
Right About Everything award. Fell for it again award for you, but not you in particular. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
And 1124 sent $50. Got this cash from some boomers who thought they were donating to get an Israeli and U.S. flag pin.
Let's go.
Redirecting the funds to a good cause 07.
Valid. That's valid.
37 sent $50.
Thank you so much.
Colonial Yankee sent $50. Have you heard about the curse of the 8th decade? The Jews have historically been unable to hold their own territory for more than 80 years before they collapse from internal strife. They turned 77 this year. It feels like this situation has sealed their fate.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was 77 years. Well, 77 is key because it's 7 is their big number. 7 generations, 77 years. That's a big thing in Jewish mysticism. That's kind of freaky. The 7, I didn't even realize. How could I have not seen that? 77 years. That's terrifying, bro, for real. You know, because the, what do you call it? Menachem Schneerson was the 7th Rebbe of the Chabad Lubavitch dynasty. That's why they believe he was the Messiah. That's their big thing. 7 and 77. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that.
Rubin sent $100. Godspeed.
Thank you for the big super chat. I
Mike Benjamin
appreciate
sent
it.
$50. Your impact is everywhere. I was playing the blackest video game ever, NBA 2K25, and there was a guy in voice chat playing your show at full volume. Even the black people started agreeing with your points about Jews. Do you
Let's
recommend any
fucking
grow-uppers
go.
become police officers? Obviously, the military is cooked.
No, I wouldn't recommend that necessarily. I mean, I think people should get involved in politics, but you got to become a one-man army. Every Groiper needs to become a one-man army. Intelligent, physically fit. We may be in a survival situation soon, so you got to prepare in all ways. And not do anything violent or anything, but just be prepared.
Chris NR sent $100. Who would I be to send just a $10 super chat? I pray that God blesses us all
Wow.
during these troubling times, but all we can do is trust Jesus and his plan. Oh,
Well, thank you so much. That is honestly the most comfort that anyone
True.
can ever have is put yourself in God's hands. The world is in God's hands. So what will happen to us, what will happen to the world, what will happen today or tomorrow, it's all in God's hands. All you could do is be humble and pray and fight every day. I mean, I still believe in fighting, but the outcome is not up to us. So, wise words.
Andy 20 sent $50. The Ayatollah? More like the I you told you so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big time.
Chris NRS sent $200. Jesus Christ for President 2028 NHH07.
Thank you for another big super chat. Chris NRS, big supporter of the show. If I wish, if only we could have that.
Guy Nunkkoepi sent $50.
That'd be
Saluting face
nice.
emoji.
But we get something better. We get Jesus Christ as Savior and as King. I'll take that any day of the week over President. So
Minion Thomas sent $75. Fitting that Father James Mosley would drop the next episode of his HN series today. Everyone should check it out. Pray for peace. Our Lady's Immaculate Heart will triumph.
So true. Thank you.
Zion Don sent $50. You were right. End of the Empire. Frankly, it had to go here as we never were going to heal. Also, assassination attempt was completely fake. He bent down, smeared a squib on his ear, stood up, meaning innocent lives probably were lost to push this whole fantasy.
I don't believe
No,
that.
I don't believe that
that's
either.
Not true.
That's not true. No, that's not true.
The Great Noticer sent $100. Always right, always vindicated, always America.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the big super chat. Okay, I think we might have. Let me just sort it. We might have one more. That's it. Okay, that's our last super chat. I apologize if I didn't get to yours. I'm only reading the big ones tonight because it's a weekend and it's getting late. So that's all I got for you. But remember to smash the follow button, smash the like button, leave a comment down below. I'm on the air every weeknight, Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock Central. I'll be back on Monday as normal, so make sure to tune in.
Crazy shit. Here's Steve Bannon is live.
Watch what smoothies do to your body.
Are smoothies a good option?
They are probably one of the biggest poison.
Number 1, worst fruit for your waistline.
I really love grapes.
The reason you love them is because one cup of grape.
Now, because a lot of our troops are literally on military bases where they could be basically attacked by an Iranian ballistic missile. Thank you guys so much. I want to hear from you throughout the night. freedom@charliekirk.com. We might stream tomorrow.
Oh, it's a fake one. Man, this is crazy, you guys. Just pray for the United States. You know what I mean? Oh, man. I don't get it. I really did. I can't make any sense of this yet. You know what I mean? Like, really, I can't. I guess let's just wait and see, you know? Let's just have a wait and see about it, see what happens. That's all we can really do.
We bring in the host of Special Report. Brett Baer is with us. Brett, thank you for being with us. I did have a conversation when you were breaking news live right here on Fox. I got some details as, again, you got on the air immediately. And the fact we had initially discussed at length and in great detail the issue of maybe 2 bunker buster bombs being needed for this Fordo facility. It ends up 6. It ends up that the Israelis had only gotten 75% of the other 2 nuclear sites that they had been attacking on a regular basis. And Tomahawk missiles, the president reporting tonight, they were totally, all 3 of them, obliterated. Incredible news. There's history tonight here.
This is wild.
Yeah,
It's
Sean,
incredible.
it's a historic night. It is. We'll see what the battle damage assessment is on the ground from Iran, but the Israelis are extending.
I don't know, man. This is wild. What do you guys think? You guys think this is crazy? That's hilarious. Chat, what's up, everybody? What do you guys think of everything? What do you think of everything's that's going on? If not, I might just call it a night. I don't know. All right, chat. I'm going to end it on that note. I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. Have a good one. Peace.